Welcome to the Whatever Podcast. I'm a host, Matt. With me today, co-host, and I got Tucker.
Hello!
And our guest today is Kim.
Hello.
That was the Miss Doubtfire, by the way.
Oh, I like it.
It sounded like it.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk serial killers for a little bit.
Oh.
Then we'll take a little break. Then we're going to talk some TV shows, possibly about serial killers.
Whoa, slow down.
And, some random shit, like always. Some whatever. Kim, I've got a game, actually, for both of you.
Yeah, you said something about this.
I got a game for both of you. Okay.
All right.
So, name to me. You both play at the same time.
Oh.
Whoever gets the most
Cam,
wins.
We're so bad at this, Cam. Do you remember this? Do you remember that game we played? And they
Yeah,
put us as like the
Tucker
fucking,
and I are always the
We were just the
handicaps.
anchors, bro. I was like, God damn.
Name the top 10 most famous serial killers in the world.
In the world? Oh, man, I only know the one from the States. Do you know any worldwide killers, Kim?
Maybe start with ones in the States and then go from there.
Ed Kemper.
Ted Bundy.
Yeah, that's
Ted Bundy's one.
that
Kim
was
gets
gonna
one.
be- Oh, Kemper's not up
John
there?
Wayne Gacy.
Yes,
The
that's
Zodiac Killer. I don't know his name.
Mm-mm.
Fuck. I'm trying to, now I gotta really think here.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Man, that's the one I was
I don't know if
thinking
he's killed the most,
I
but
think Jeffrey
I think
Dahmer's on
he's
there,
just
too.
pretty notorious.
Okay, I now hold on.
I'm
Who
pulling
else?
up the article on here
Who
so
else?
Kim can't see it.
I'm trying to remember that one show. Because those ones have to be famous because they wouldn't put them on a
Yeah,
show.
the Green River Killer.
I don't know. Is that like the Green Mile? Is that what that's based off of?
No.
Really? It followed some themes like that. There was a guy killing people in it. He got put in prison for it. Or wrongly accused, right?
Is it the Green Mile about that magical guy?
Magical guy? What magical guy?
Dude, I'm so bad at that.
Okay.
All I can remember is there was the big the big guy and he had a mouse, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he was magical.
No,
I guess
I think that's like a Disney princess. Well, actually, some of those are magical, so that's a bad guess. I mean,
well, that's my
reference.
bad.
No, that's.
Okay,
That's
Kim
my
has
bad
3
for-
points.
Well, I don't have one. Ed Kemper's not up there, bro.
No, he's not.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Um,
Shit, man. Let's see. I really wish my mom was here. She'd be really.
The other
she'd be
ones are
helpful.
hard.
yeah.
Man.
I'll give you hints.
Wait. Who's the son of Sam? Who's that guy?
He has to be. That has to be one.
That's what I'm saying. Son of Sam.
Mm,
Oh, who is the really old guy from like way back in England? Jack the Ripper.
yes.
Good job.
take
That's what I
those.
was
We
trying
take
to
those.
think
Let's
of.
go, Kim.
I was trying to think of it. I was
I
like,
feel like
know
this
it's
is more of a
something.
collaborative effort. I
The
don't know if this.
BTK killer?
Oh, that's a nice one.
Nope.
Yeah, right.
Excuse
Who
me?
is that one guy that had
This
like?
is of all time, so you got to think
Yeah.
back into like.
Well,
there's
I
someone-
I can't. My brain,
I-
dude. Come on. Is it about World War II? I can do that. Has anyone died around serial kill?
World War
Is
II.
Hitler one
Is
of them?
World War II is the biggest serial killer.
Yes, dude, I knew it. I would honestly have no idea.
Okay, this guy's Russian.
Yeah, like right,
Oh.
Andre.
Yeah.
Wow, that was
What the
really
fuck?
stereotypical of me. I'm so sorry to any
Oh, I thought you
Russian
knew it.
listener. No,
I know that I've read about this.
Andre Orlovsky. I think that's a name.
Dude,
don't
That's
think it's a
Andre
serial killer.
Chikatilo.
Oh, yeah.
And
Pardon
he's
us
named.
for butchering Russian names. It's
That's
gonna
his
be-
name, the Butcher of Rostov.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude. It's this intuition. You know, you can't stop me.
That's where he was born, Intuition City.
No, that would have been really
I
cool,
literally,
dude.
I would have just left.
Yeah,
I
I
would've
was.
just got up
I
and
might have
walked
been
out.
right behind you. I've been like, "This is the best podcasting you're ever gonna get out of me." Goodbye.
You guys are missing 2 that are in the States.
that are in the States. Give us a small. Wait, oh no. Give us
One
a
is
small
my
hint.
favorite one.
Okay,
that I talk
give us
about a lot.
Give us a small hint in a little bit.
Um,
No, in a little bit because I think Kim and I can do
What's
this.
your favorite one?
Wow, I would have honestly no idea. Who was the guy who like drove the semi around and they like captured people and they like held him in the back of the semi? There was like some weird
That's
table.
hilarious.
It's like
He's not on here.
Oh, they had that really bad recording that I like listened to a little bit and really wish I hadn't. I guess that's not it. So some really the Golden State.
No.
Oh,
I think all those people didn't kill enough people. The ones you guys are mentioning.
Yeah.
Sadly
This
enough.
is about body count. All right.
Pretty much.
And I
Yeah.
think halfway through this, I just went like my brain was like the most famous.
Yeah.
I just kind of.
It tends
Weird in that
to.
direction.
The people that killed the most are the most famous.
That's what I'm saying. All right, we can do this. You said
It's
John
Matt's
Wayne
favorite
Gacy.
one. We should-
It's in Chicago, during the time of the World's Fair.
Who's the guy that mailed the arsenic?
I think that's. I don't know if he used arsenic.
I forget. Who was that guy that did that though?
Why can't I think? Why?
If this is hard when they put us on the
He
spot,
had a
Kim, I'm just
he had a
not.
murder
know.
castle.
Oh,
They called it his murder castle after he was found.
Really
in
strange.
in
I feel like if
Brooklyn,
we had those facts, we would have
Yeah.
presented them.
Who is it?
so. H.H. Holmes.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I would have
that
never
doesn't
got
ring a
that.
bell?
No.
I mean, not really.
Oh, so when everyone came for like the World's Fair and everything, the city after that was just filled with a shit ton of people because it became a popular place. So he starts taking women, and people aren't noticing because there's so many random people from all over the world there, and it's just stuff packed. So no one notices a couple people missing here and there, and he takes women back to his
Murder
to his
castle.
apartment place.
Yeah, his murder castle. That's
And his murder castle, and he's got like secret walls that have like gas chambers in it and stuff.
in an
Bro.
apartment.
Yeah, and like
Did he own this fucking apartment?
No,
He was renting it. What? Who was
Yeah.
this landlord? What
Yeah,
the
he was
fuck?
renting
Nobody came and checked.
Yeah. Did he not
How
have
big was
neighbors?
his apartment
Did he-
in Chicago?
Yeah. Did he have neighbors?
Was he gassing his neighbor?
Bro, I feel like I try to make a wall in my house. My neighbor's gonna come knocking and be like, "Excuse me, sir."
Excuse me, why are you doing
Yeah, he
construction
built
at
a-
7 a.m.?
he built a 3-story inn. So
What? How?
it wasn't an apartment; it was an inn
Oh,
that people
well.
came and stayed.
Did he own this inn?
Yes.
Oh, this makes a lot of sense. Then I
So
can
this,
understand that.
so I do understand now why they would call it a murder castle because
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
3
why are you
stories.
referring to your apartment
That's
as
what
a castle?
It's like that's a little grandiose.
No.
Like, okay,
he had a
man, chill
medieval
out.
stretching rack in his basement to torture his victims.
A stretching rack?
a medieval one.
Yeah, that's the kind of
That's-
shit you dream about, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, excuse me for anyone listening to that. Matt dreams about that because he always jokes about he would like to be strapped to one of those to like get his spine stretched out. Not that he's interested in owning one of these and
I
putting
mean,
people on it. That's a big
the hints are
disclaimer right
there.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Um,
we're not gonna get to the
when
deep
was
down of
what
it.
what years was this?
1894,
Oh, that's probably why I haven't heard
Yeah.
of it.
and this is what he told police.
Isn't that like? Didn't the Civil War just end? 1894.
It's not a real year. That's why you don't know about it.
What? It's not a real year. What does that mean? Kim, what does that mean? What does not a real
It's
year?
too long ago. It's not. It's not a real year.
Oh, okay. Yes, that makes a lot of sense to me.
But it's like
yes.
when somebody's like 2,194 is a year, and you're like, no, it's not.
Yeah, you're out of your
That's not a year.
skull, right? And then they have this crazy thing like BC, and it's like, huh?
Yeah, no, that's
What?
not real.
No, yeah, you're
Yeah.
making this up. It's like some fairy tale land stuff.
But what were you? What did you tell
What?
police?
Oh,
Oh.
1894.
He told in 1894 he was convicted of 27 people, but he was believed to kill 200 people. When the police asked him why he did it, he said, "I was born with the devil in me. I could not help the fact that I was a murderer, no more than a poet can help the inspiration to sing."
Wow.
That's crazy.
Honestly,
I also see that why we use the term "in." By the
Yeah.
way, 1894. It's
Yeah,
lining
that
up a
makes
little bit
sense.
more in my head. I was like,
Yeah.
that's and castle.
I
as well.
mean, this man, he could have been a poet with an answer like that.
right? That
He
was
could have just wrote out.
yeah.
not
He
actually-
should have at least tried.
Not-
God damn.
Tried something else.
Maybe just dip your toe in a different region. You seem,
Just
you
like,
know.
I really want to kill people.
You guys have 2 left,
Oh yeah, we do. Right.
plus a woman.
Plus, wait, hold on. They don't do that. I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of them.
I-
real big bad.
I
It's like a man.
I love when ladies like snap. Is it the lady that like kept like killing all of her husbands,
Yes.
like poisoning them?
No.
Oh,
Oh, is it the Black Widow? They call her something like that.
There's a movie called Monster.
mm-hmm.
It's about her.
I feel like there's a lot of movies called Monster.
Have you ever seen it?
I don't
Monsters,
think
Inc.
I've
is
seen
my
it, but I know
favorite.
that I've heard about it.
Well, her name is Aline Warnos. Warnos.
Yeah, that's drawing a blank.
Yeah.
Is the last one that one guy, that old guy who like sent letters to like who like ate people and like sent letters to their family?
Ed Gein?
Is that? I don't
I don't
know.
know if he
I
did
feel
that.
I
like
just
he should
remember
be on
there's
there
this
for
really
creativity.
specific. Yeah,
He
there's
should
this
be an
really,
honorable mention.
Yeah, no, I don't like honorably mention it.
I'm not sure
No.
if he is, but the next hint is Russian for this guy's nickname, Baba Yaga.
Oh, the Baba Yaga. Yeah, I just know what the Baba Yaga is, but like the boogeyman, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's his nickname.
Yeah.
Albert Fish.
Oh, wait. That sounds really familiar. Is that not the guy I was talking about?
Oh, this is the guy you were talking about.
Yeah, he mailed like the family like a letter of how their daughter's butt tasted after he ate it. Real strange shit,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
Yeah, dude. Real weird. Albert Fish, yeah, that guy.
That
We were somewhat in this.
we.
I feel like we got
I'm
like a
glad.
decent
I
chunk
know.
of this.
I'm really proud of us.
Yeah, I am
'Cause-
too. Matt said it was a competition, but I feel like we banded
Yeah,
together for
I
this.
think you guys made it
Yeah.
together.
Okay, but how did that lady kill all of those guys?
Yeah.
Oh, she lured him. She was a prostitute, and she lured him to
Lady of the
Bridge.
Night.
Yeah. She put a Uno reverse on
Whoa.
those semi drivers who were killing all those prostitutes.
She said, "I've had enough."
She hit them hard.
Yeah.
She said, I'm going to take out all the truck drivers. How about that? I'll put it on myself.
What are...
Oh, and there's one more left.
Wait, what?
Sorry. And there was a documentary made on him recently. It was on Netflix, I think.
Whoa, okay. Netflix.
The
I could have swore Kim said all the ones that were on Netflix.
Why can't it? Was he Hispanic? His name is.
No, he was not Hispanic. He's very charismatic.
I thought we did this one.
He had a normal, not a normal job, but I don't want to give it away.
Was this man a photographer?
No. He was a doctor.
Doctor?
Oh, like the surgeon?
Yeah.
Surgeon of Death?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dr. Death.
Yeah, Doctor
Yeah.
Death. The guy who like who put people to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that guy.
Now, what confuses me, his real name is Dr. Harold Shipman.
Yeah. Okay.
The documentary I watched on Netflix was called Dr. Death, right? Did you watch that?
I think it was called.
And in that, he didn't kill people like this says.
Whoa.
There's two.
Wow.
Huh. What? How does it say?
The
that he
thick
does it?
plottins.
This boogeyman guy says that he it's target old women. However, he also killed a lot of men. It looks like he mostly killed them by injecting them with pharmaceutical grade heroin.
Well, that doesn't sound so bad.
I mean,
So by the time of the autopsy, you wouldn't be able to find it in their system, I'm guessing.
Bro, that?
He died by hanging himself in his cell.
Yeah, that sounds right.
yeah.
I mean, Epstein didn't
He
kill
never
himself,
confessed to any of his crimes.
Are we still saying that, by the way? I hope we are, right?
What?
Epstein didn't kill himself? Like, that
Oh.
still needs to be said just,
Yeah.
like, every now and then so, like, everyone
Yeah.
doesn't forget.
I think people need to, for sure, remember.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
on that note, I saw a really weird, like, conspiracy thing the other day that someone. How do you say the lady that was just.
Ghislaine Maxwell?
Yes. That the last person that saw Jean Bonnet, they drew a photo of her with a rendering that looks exactly like Ghislaine Maxwell.
That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that the recent testimony is of the housekeeper, one of the housekeepers of Epstein's estate?
No.
And he said a couple things. He said he saw a lot of what looked to be younger 20-year-old ladies always in and out of the house. He was told to not, if you see anything, you can't say anything, you won't speak about it, and you won't speak unless you're spoken to. And then he said Epstein had some, like, massage parlor that he and like in his house that he like used a lot, and you like couldn't see, you like weren't allowed to, like, it was behind like a curtain or a door and you weren't allowed to look, but the housekeeper said that one time when he went to clean up afterward, he found like a huge ass dildo, like huge double-sided dildo. Yeah.
And you were like,
I-
what a massage.
yeah, what a
That
wonderful
is used for massages.
Yeah. Jeffrey. I didn't know you were that kind of guy, you know.
Well,
No, apparently he was instructed to return it to Miss Maxwell's room, I guess, because it was hers, which makes a little more sense. But
yeah. Or
Still
he
weird.
said-
Still weird as
He was
fuck.
like, don't know about me.
Yeah.
It was that lady. Who,
Yeah, like, what kind of I mean, like, we're in the States. You go to a massage parlor, that's not allowed.
Yeah, this is in
You can't do that.
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
also
you can't
why?
get what's that, man? A little rub and tickle or something? Whatever you say?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I can't remember what I called when I was over there.
I think you called it a rub and tickle, dude. I don't think I could ever
Yeah,
forget
rub
that
and
shit,
tickle.
man.
Yeah, I feel like
I don't know.
that's one of those moments where, like, he just has, like, fuck you money, where he's like, oh, now I have so much money, I'm just literally gonna put shit in my house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just to be like, fuck you, I have all this money.
Oh, right.
But
like,
then
anyone
also,
probably
like,
would. You know?
obviously it's sketchy as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, if you work here, but you can't go in there. And in what world would that not pique your interest more?
Oh, of course.
I
No,
can't look behind that curtain.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You
look
are
behind
never
it.
here, sir.
Yeah.
I will look behind that curtain 1,000 times a day.
Yeah, you best believe that one of the first times I came into this basement, one of the first things I did was look behind that. It's transparent, and I still look behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck's behind that?"
Yeah.
I don't know if it's supposed to be a secret or what, but I'm.
It's a murder room.
I'ma
It's where you
find
put all my
out.
victims.
I mean, is that where you have your stretching table?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it sure looks like
I
it. That
would.
It
looks
is a
very
table
Dexter.
behind that, actually.
Back on track here. I got another question
Okay,
for you.
go.
Why do you think people like the idea of serial killers so much?
I think
Wow, pardon
they
me.
like the idea of it because it is hard to believe that somebody could follow through with something like that, but then it also feels so far away and like detached from like when you're in Ohio and you hear about a serial killer running rampant in California, you're like so interested in that because it's so far away and detached that you're not thinking about like they're killing actual people.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, oh, what the fuck? How did somebody do that? How could somebody follow through with all this stuff? And it's so far away that it's never gonna be here and be me, kind of thing.
Yeah, except I looked up statistics before this, and Ohio has. I looked up murdered victims of serial killers.
Yeah,
And Ohio's number 6.
yeah, because Jeffrey Dahmer lived here.
Yeah.
He's like from here.
That's creepy.
Yeah. But then also I think that people are so interested in it because they're like, as a regular person, you could never imagine like actually following through
Yeah.
and doing that. Or like even like when you're reading about like insane shit that people are doing, you're like, how did you fucking think about that? 2, how did you follow through on that?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That's
like-
I feel like that's the big thing, right? Is because like it's not that people can't imagine it, right? Because it's like I feel like everyone has, like everyone's been upset at like some person in the
Yeah.
world before that. It's like I could just fucking murder that
Yeah.
person, but like they can't imagine. Like I'm pretty sure all of us can't imagine actually doing it.
Yeah.
We can imagine because like I feel like everyone's had that the little daydream of just like,
Yeah.
man, if I murdered this person, all would be fine.
Yeah,
or at
but
least
it's like
things
the
would be
follow
better.
through part.
Yeah,
that's,
but
like,
to actually
so-
like, acquire the tools needed and
Yeah.
all that whatever
Yeah.
a murder takes, that's like so far out of the realm of possibility. You're just like, these people actually did that.
Yeah.
Huh?
And so then it's like really, I don't want to say it's like that they're interested in the fact that they're like, oh, I wish I could do that kind of thing. I think
Yeah.
it's just like, how do you get to the point where you're like, you drop all inhibition and you're like, I'm just gonna fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was reading a thing about how, like, there was some, like, neuro person who was like looking at scans of like all of these different serial killers' brains. And it was like in almost, I think it was like in every single one, if not almost every single one, they had some sort of like frontal lobe damage. Whether it was like in their youth or like whenever that.
Is this like physical damage? Like something
Yes.
okay.
So like the smiley face killer, which was like a guy who drove a truck and like killed women on the road or whatever. He had apparently like in gym class in like elementary school or something had fallen from like the rope like up near the ceiling and fell and hit his head.
Oh yeah.
And had like some sort of frontal lobe damage.
Yeah,
and
who's that one guy? Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, so it just like like it's because your frontal lobe like fully forms when you're like 23 or 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like controls your like inhibition and problem solving and like your ability to differentiate like things.
Yeah.
And so when you have frontal lobe damage, it's like you can just like do things without
rhyme or reason.
yeah,
There's no
like or
logic
without
to
like
it.
the thought of like like not consequences but kind of consequences.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like the
Yeah,
filter's
right and
kind of
wrong.
gone.
yeah, like you like can't
Can't,
determine the difference between
Yeah.
them, and you're like, oh wow, this is fine. It's like why kids are like dumb as shit,
Right.
Like and like do things, and you're like, what the
Why
fuck?
and what
And they're like,
could
I don't
possibly-
know.
Yeah.
I just
did it.
yeah,
You
I
know,
just did it.
yeah,
That's
I just did it.
basically
Right.
like every kid ever is like, I don't know, I thought it and then I just did it.
Yeah, that reminds me of that one guy. I forget his name because I'll probably forget all of these names because in my head it's probably not worth remembering people
Yeah.
like this. But that one guy who how did it go? He was he like sniped people on like bridges and stuff of the highway.
Yeah.
And he ended up like writing a letter before he ended up either getting shot or shot himself. I forget the whole story, but it said like there was a voice in his head that like told him to do it. Like he wrote out of like a pretty interesting thing of like he knew that he was like sliding into madness kind of thing.
Yeah,
Who
I think
that
he was
guy?
schizophrenic.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
something like that. But the letter was really interesting to read because it's like he was like self-aware that
Yeah.
he was going insane. Like he
Yeah.
kind of like realized he's like, I know this doesn't sound right, but he's like, I can't stop myself. I have to
Yeah.
go do this.
It's like a weird like schizophrenic like OCD. Like
Okay,
you're
yeah.
just like I like like you're like it's a
Gotta do it.
compulsion, which
Yeah.
is just OCD is
Sure.
compulsions. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's like if you have something in your head telling you to do these things that you like know is bad or whatever, but it's like driving you insane, you're like, I'm gonna do that thing for some sort of relief from this. It's just like
yeah.
with like regular OCD where, well, I guess it's not regular, but where you're like, I have to flip this light switch 5 times before I leave my house.
Yeah, to make sure the light is
Compulsion,
actually off,
or
yeah.
like I'm gonna physically feel ill, like I can feel it all throughout my body. I couldn't imagine being like, there's a voice in my head telling me I have to shoot people,
Yeah.
or I'm going to basically like, it's like an itch I can't scratch, and I'm gonna drive myself insane
Yeah,
if I
that's-
don't do it.
Yeah. Being a prisoner of your own mind
Yeah.
has to be some of the worst human things that could ever happen. Like I
Yeah.
can't imagine much worse than that.
Yes,
Being
I
locked in your own brain, especially with something that you don't think is you, right? If you
Yeah.
think it's like something else telling you to do this stuff, imagine it's just locked in your head.
Yeah, it's very Green
Oh.
Goblin.
Yeah, yeah.
it is.
Like,
Now I'm just gonna think the voice in my head's gonna be Willem Dafoe all
Yeah.
the time.
and you're like looking in the mirror, and you're just like, fucking Willem Dafoe.
Oh, dude, I'll get you.
I think serial killers are interesting because I really like the psychology behind like what's going on in their brains, and like to know that most of them are just pretty much batshit insane is kind of nice
Yeah.
because I don't want the average human to like have the ability to just become a serial killer.
Yeah. Or like the
case,
feeling
though?
that like you like I feel like, and then to take that another step, then you're like, oh, I'm a pretty regular person. I don't want that to happen to me.
Oh yeah.
Like,
That's chief concern of most everyone, right?
yeah, I
They're
can
all
tell
just
you
trying
that
to
literally, like, and this is just like me being a neurotic, like anxious person. I feel like everybody's like, oh, when you're great, you don't want to get older when you turn 30, blah, 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 blah. It's fucking your life's over. I
Who said
literally, the day that I turned 29, I was like, I have never been happier in my life
Oh,
because the likelihood of you having like a psychotic break and having like some sort of like schizophrenia or some sort of something or a psychotic break will happen in your mid to late 20s.
Oh, right.
Like, that's the
Oh.
latest that it would happen.
Oh, okay. So we have like one more little hump
Yeah,
to get
so
over.
I literally was like, when I fucking get out of my 20s,
Yeah,
I
boy.
can be fine.
Okay,
Because,
cool. That's
like,
something to look forward to.
yeah, like the amount of fear that is just like inside of me that I'm gonna like,
Like you're holding back the monster, and the
Babe-
finish line is 30 before
yeah,
it just
and I'm
dies.
like literally,
Pretty sure that might not be
You
a
need some
foolproof
serious
plan.
Xanax.
That might not be foolproof.
in my brain it is.
We'll
I-
take that.
I
We'll
turned
take it.
29 and I would literally was like, I am free.
No, I cannot kill anyone anymore.
Yeah, I
am
will
incapable of doing
not have a
this.
psychotic break. I'm so happy.
Okay, so now I've got a question for you that comes with like 3 different questions.
Okay.
It's gonna be a do we consider them serial killers? I'm gonna name off a group of people.
Okay.
Okay, do we consider soldiers serial killers?
What's the definition of serial killer?
3 or more.
There's got to be more than that. There has to be a more elaborate definition
Yeah.
of serial killer because
So-
technically these soldiers are lawfully killing. And I
In
think
my
like the serial
brain,
killer is like
I
someone
would consider
breaking the
them
law.
trained assassins. I would
Okay.
not consider them serial killers.
I think the implication of assassin is trained. I think you could just say assassins.
Well, motherfucker.
I'm
what
just
if
saying.
you're just like a freelance assassin?
I still think he is trained to be
Maybe.
an assassin.
Maybe.
I think he is trained,
Maybe he just
done
is-
some type of training.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know.
So you think that's the difference? Is that they're trained and the others?
Oh no,
And-
I'm just being. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm splitting hairs. I'm being a little fucker. I'm just saying that all assassins, I'd assume, are trained. You don't have to say
Yeah.
trained assassin. I'd assume
True.
if you got the title of assassin, you had some type of training.
Okay, so I guess that it would be a military grade
Yeah.
assassin because they're
Yeah,
military trained.
sure. I like that. That's
And
cool.
I think it's like
You could have.
it's-
The correct answer also was shut up. You could have just told me that too. Like shut the fuck.
I'm
No,
not
it's
even
okay.
talking that serious. I'm talking like the average soldier that goes in, the 18-year-old that shoots like 3 or 4 people and kills them.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, right? Right. If a soldier has killed 3 or more people, I would probably label him more as like, if you want to make it like harsh, I would say he's a killer. Because like I feel like serial killer has like implications behind it, right? Like it's like you're breaking a law.
It,
And that's-
it
Yeah,
says
and you're-
a serial killer is typically a person who murders 3 or more people, usually in service of abnormal psychological gratification.
Yeah. So I guess
Yeah.
it's just more than 3 people.
And it usually occurs with a significant period of time between them.
If you want to be like really technical and like really break it down, then technically you could say yes, that soldiers who have killed more than 3 people are serial killers.
yeah.
I feel like that is really disrespectful
Yeah.
to soldiers
For sure.
Because they're on
because they're
like,
doing
they're
that.
like it's not like they're
Self-defense.
yeah, or
it's
it's
more
not
so
like they're
usually
doing it for
for-
psychological gratification.
Yeah,
they're
that too.
doing it
Of course.
because they're
That's a big problem.
they're
They're doing
on
it
a-
for us.
Yeah.
Is what most of them would tell you. Is
Yeah,
that they're
and
going
they're
out
on
there
a
and fighting
mission.
for us.
We
They're
appreciate
on-
it,
your
soldiers out there.
countrymen. Yeah,
yeah, like they're literally like they're on a mission. It's what they're sent out to do.
Yeah.
To do like they're I mean like to do all of these things. I don't think that they're like, oh fuck yeah, I can't wait to kill someone today.
There's
I
probably-
think that it's like it's so much like and it like I think that would disregard the amount of like psychological damage that comes along with killing someone.
Mm-hmm.
That like and the amount of like PTSD that comes along with that
Yeah.
because like serial killers are doing it for some sort of like gratification and all of these things
Yeah.
but like a soldier is, if you
More
ask
often
them,
than not,
they're
they're
like,
remorseful.
it's like they're literally like, I did it for all of these reasons. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, like, I'm not just gonna.
Yeah.
I didn't do it for funsies.
Right,
Like,
yeah. The amount of soldiers that have PTSD could really just answer that question.
Yeah.
You know?
like, because it is a traumatic experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
To take
a
they
life,
are like
oof.
super remorseful, and then it's also like it, and I feel like it's so ingrained in like soldiers to not, like, you can't discuss the things that you do and stuff like that, like, and like it like
I feel like it's a big they just don't like to talk about it because then they have to remember it, and like, who wants to remember trauma? You know?
And it's
It's
like
like something you want to get past or never remember again.
yeah, and where it's like a lot of serial killers are like, I would love
God,
to
give
talk
me
about my
more.
conquests.
Yeah,
let
right.
me enlighten you with what I know.
Right, and it's all the prison diary bullshit. Basically,
Yeah.
it's just they just want to tell everyone their story. Like, look
Yeah.
at me, I did it.
Like, I
Super
feel like a
villain
lot of soldiers are like, please
Leave
never
me the fuck alone.
ask
I
me
don't wanna
about
talk
this
about
ever
it.
again.
Yeah,
You see, that's what's crazy to me is like, we're making humans kill other humans, right? By sending people in the military. But those humans that are doing that would have never killed anyone to begin with if they didn't join the military. Right?
Yeah, true. Well,
Because they're not
yeah.
serial killers.
Yeah.
They have
yeah,
no need
because
to
it's-
kill someone.
because they can lawfully kill people.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
So that's just fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's very fun.
I
War
wish we
is
didn't do
never war's
Yeah.
never fun, man.
Yeah.
Fuck war.
What is it good for?
Yeah. Whoa.
Absolutely.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Always got to do the huh.
Yeah.
Huh's the
So
best
you
part.
know you're serious.
Yeah. I feel like the huh is like an exclamation part.
Yeah.
What
Point
about
part.
police officers? How do we feel about that?
Ooh, wow, that's a real
Now,
controversial
most
topic
of them don't pull
nowadays,
their
isn't
weapon,
it?
but there is like a SWAT team member, I would imagine, probably has a couple kills under his belt. Hostage negotiators, part of those teams. FBI agent.
Yeah, I feel like it's so because there's so many different branches and all of the things, it's like nuanced and all the stuff. Do I feel like in some ways self-defense, if someone is actually attacking you and you in some way do that, I don't know. I personally am like, you're a police officer,
Protect and
you
serve.
serve and protect. You're not judge, jury, executioner.
Yeah.
That's not like, even if you think that someone is breaking the law, quote unquote, and that's what you're there to do, is to stop people from breaking the law. They already broke the law. You don't need to execute them because
They haven't even got their trial.
yeah, like everyone deserves like, or
The right of trial.
yeah, like as a trial, and so you're taking that away from them.
Well, you're taking more than the fucking trial. You're
Yeah,
taking their
and
life,
like
so
in
yeah,
this
slow down
like
there.
way of under the premise of, I'm a police officer, I'm here to do this and blah blah blah, and it's like you're not there to kill people.
Yeah, you're not
like-
there you're not. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah, like I don't think that. I think that it happens so much that I don't think that people should be afraid of regular things like getting pulled over.
Yeah,
Not
of
that that's
course.
like I don't think because like you're just because you like broke a traffic violation doesn't mean that you are then should be under the right to be shot. I don't think that
No,
is.
oh no, gosh, and of course.
So
not.
I think that police officers it's really like a nuanced thing. Do I think that
Nuance is a
I
good word
personally
for it,
I don't
yeah.
think that they should be killing people at all, but
Yeah.
I mean they do, and so I
Right.
think that
Yeah.
I think it goes under the same thing of like our like I don't think they're doing it for some sort of gratification. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, that is the real difference there. Is the
I feel like you
gratification.
used a great word for it. Nuanced is probably
Yeah.
the best way to explain it. If I were to give an opinion on it, it would be real. the whole general thing would be really hard, because I feel like with police officers, you can't just like, it's not like a blanket broad umbrella.
Yeah, because the
It's not a
percentage of-
blanket thing you could
Yeah.
throw over like the soldiers. It's like they're
Yeah.
out there doing it because of war, or the government is literally ordering them and telling them to do this for the benefit of
Yeah.
us. But when you come to police officers, like Kim said, it's nuanced. So I feel like you would have to go. It's like it's real case by case scenario.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you can see something that happened on like the television or in the news or on the internet, where you see a police officer has shot and killed someone, and then you read the whole story and all the gathering information, and you're like, oh, this man just saved lives because he killed this person. But then you get other stuff where it's clearly, a police officer is in the wrong here, and he's killed someone, but you could tell he's so remorseful, and it was like, you could tell by like all the circumstances and all the aspects of it that it could have very well been an accident.
Yeah.
And that lined up with the officer showing true remorse. Things happen. It's an accident. It's a high pressured situation and job. They're giving you a gun to potentially use. Like,
And that's what
crazy.
I'm saying. It goes back to like, if you have those same humans, that same human brain, and you don't give him the gun and the authority to shoot someone, he's never going to kill another human, because his brain is not wired to do that. But once you introduce a gun and you give someone the authority to say, hey, if someone's coming at you, you can use that gun, then you almost give the human the right to take another life.
Yeah.
And-
Jordan's a really big proponent on this, and one of my favorite things that he always says is that I don't think they're I'll probably misquoting him, and I apologize, Jordan, if you're listening, but he always breaks it down to that police just need better training.
Yeah.
More than anything, they just need to be trained better. Like, that's all it is. Like,
Yeah.
there's like some classes, like I know there was a really popular thing online where people were calling out this guy who was teaching like police worldwide, and it was like really extreme procedures where it was like killing them wasn't shied away from. It was like, that is a potential thing
Like
that you
the
should be using.
amount of like training, the guy that did like all of that training like went in and basically was like, every situation for you as a police officer is a life or death situation, and you should go into every situation as if it's a life or death situation.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, whoa, my guy.
I forget that guy's name.
Yeah, I
and-
forget what it is too, but I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're on the
'cause-
same page here.
Yeah,
But
like,
it's all training based. It's like
Yeah.
these men and women just need to be trained better.
yeah, and it is like
that's all it is.
like when Matt was saying, like, you give somebody the like authority to do that, and you like, I feel like it's like the second you give someone a weapon and authority, and knowing that they're gonna have
To
a
potentially
large
use
mass of people behind them, like like other police officers behind them, it like that like in your brain can be like, well, I'm gonna be okay in this situation.
Yeah.
If this happens, I have all of these people.
I'm on the right
Like,
side.
yeah, like I have the authority. I have the this. They gave me the weapon. They didn't give you the weapon. So
Yeah.
who are you to say that I did something
Exactly.
wrong?
Yeah.
Like,
So they automatically think they're in the right.
yeah, like that kind of thing. And then I feel like the difference between that and military stuff is like, yeah, like you're in a war situation, like type of thing. Like if these people are actively, they also have guns. That's like, that can be the kind
This
of
is a mutual
thing,
agreement.
is like,
We've kind of like metaphorically handshaked upon.
Yeah.
Hey, if I see you, I'm gonna kill you. You see me, you're gonna kill me.
yeah. And so
That's war.
and then they're in like if they're in like a war situation, but then like a regular everyday police officer, you're just with regular people like us.
yeah, I didn't handshake on anything, motherfucker. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to walk down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it is so, it's so weird because yeah, you give someone authority and a gun, and then it elevates this danger level
Oh, yeah.
in their brain. It like elevates this thing. Like, I mean, even
It's a natural thing too.
yeah, even in my
I'm pretty sure I would
job
probably-
working in crisis situations with people with mental health issues, I am never allowed to, I am not even allowed to even physically restrain someone trying to attack me if it's not written in their behavior plan
Really?
as like a thing, like even like when they are in crisis, and if if my entire job is to diffuse the situation, try to bring the situation like back down, like do all of these things, and like I couldn't even imagine like the amount of to de-escalate there are so many like mental health facilities that I know that are like, oh yeah, like when we get to a point we're just like, you just have to call the police, but like they're not trained in de-escalation. So when you call the police, the likelihood of them coming in with their guns drawn is so high because this person is in crisis and they don't know how to de-escalate them. And so then it's like, well, now you're just adding
more stress.
More stress and more fire, literally, to the situation because they come in and if they see this person who's trying to attack them.
Yeah. Their natural reaction. And you got to think, too, it's like they try to use, like, a gun is typically in a policeman's hand used as, like, a fear tactic, right? Usually their assumption is when they come in, guns drawn.
Yeah.
A normal person, maybe not in crisis, is going to see that and be like,
whoa.
Okay, I hear
there,
you.
buddy.
Yeah, it's a fear tactic, but also just having the gun increases the police officer's fear.
Yeah.
Because, and that could be, like, a plethora of things that affect it, like fear that he is going to have to use it, fear that this person might harm him, so on and so forth. And then it's just a bad combination, coming into a situation.
And especially
like
when
that.
you have all of these other options, like they have like 3 other different things they could pull.
Sure.
So like why
a taser, a bat, a baton, or they could just come in and maybe assess the situation first before maybe seeing their weapon is necessary.
Now, for some reason, in some sort of training, your gun is your first option.
I don't know.
It's your first level of option when you have all of these other lesser forced things at your disposal.
People are scared and they're not trained to deal with this, with being scared.
Yeah, it's like we're talking about. It all seems like a training thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too much on the topic of police officers, and we might lose some listeners here.
No, I respect police officers. I really do. It's just, I just think they need training. I think some of them need better training.
I would not consider. I would say, would I consider them serial killers? No.
No.
Same thing as with the military thing.
Right, yeah.
They're not doing it for a psychological or a gratification or a thing or all of this stuff. It's like they're in a high pressure situation and could have most often than not just react poorly. You're putting stressed out people in stressed out situations.
Yeah. Like if you took the situation away, would they ever kill someone?
Who's to say?
Who's to say? But more often, if you're talking about a normal human being, no, probably not.
No. Now, do you think serial killers hide? Like, do you think that there is some killing that we don't know about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And do you think they would hide in the military? An easy way to get some kills.
What do you call that? A responsible serial killer, right? It's got to be something like that. He knows he has to kill people, but he kills people for a cause. I mean, the government's got to love that guy. They're like,
I feel like it also is like in the same thing as that guy who was anesthesiologist or like the surgeon or what, like he's
Dr. Death. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he was like 1,000% like in some way had to be a narcissist to think that he
had the power to take life.
Yeah, and he made it all the way through medical school, did all of these things, and then could do it under
the guise of helping people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
is it weird that I don't think that's bad? That's bad? Like that situation that doctor was doing? Like, from the little that we've talked about it doesn't sound that bad. Like, don't they do that in some European countries right now? Like, assisted suicide?
Mm-hmm.
That's not what that doctor was doing.
He wasn't? Oh, people didn't come to him and were like, hey, I want to die? No. He was just nuking old people? Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
There is a guy that
my bad.
Whoa!
My bad. Cut that. There was a guy who did something like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound so bad.
And then you always have, well, that's another question. I'll go into it later.
Okay.
Do you think that they can be saved? Like, do you think that there's real rehabilitation for serial killers?
That is a very interesting question, right?
Hard hitter, Matthew.
I think the only real one that I can really speak on that I have like a solid opinion on, because like pretty sure it sounds like a decent answer is what I'd say, is that when Kim was talking about like how a lot of these serial killers have like physical brain damage. No, unfortunately I don't think those men or women can be saved. I think once your brain is physically damaged, I don't think we've got far enough into medicine and science to repair a brain.
Yeah.
Or
I don't think
maybe
the brain
eventually
has figured out how to fix itself.
Maybe. I feel like that's one of those things of if we get to that point, I feel like to be able to medically assist these things, I feel like would it be worth using resources on something like that instead of people who are in accidents and have brain damage against people who are...
That's fair. If medicine hasn't gone far enough to like actually cover everyone.
Yeah.
It's just you gotta, who's worth it.
Yeah.
No, I would definitely say no.
But in this point of can they be quote unquote saved? Question. I mean, if you put them in a situation where there's no people for them to kill, I guess you saved them, question mark?
Saved? Or did you
like,
just
quote
drive
unquote
them
saved them? Like, you just, or are you just putting them...
Did they just kill themselves?
I guess I feel like if you can't, like, if it's some sort of compulsion...
You gotta kill someone, the only one around is you.
Yeah. Like, or if you're putting them, like, with... I mean, when Mindhunter did Ed Kemper.
Mindhunter. See? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I thought he'd have been on the list.
Yeah, like where when you put them, like when they're interviewing him and he's like doing whatever and talking about them and he's like...
He seems perfectly content, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then like in the show he's like playing being friendly with these police officers and or with the FBI agents and doing all of these things. It's like, well, now you didn't save him. You're just now giving this person an out to talk and quote unquote relive these
because that's the only thing he has left.
Yeah, like
he's got
memory
the other
and
too, right?
all the things.
Because he would like fuck around with the other prisoners, right? Like there's that one story that they told in Mindhunters that he like manipulates his cellmate to like in the other like to his neighbor. That's what I was looking for. He like manipulated him a whole bunch, like just to like fuck with them, just because the man was so bored and so intelligent that he knew how to do that and he wanted to do it that badly.
Yeah, and so then it's like, so you in theory stopped him from killing people, but you didn't stop him from manipulating and like messing or ruining other people.
You stopped him from killing people by literally taking away his option of killing people.
That's like
if the option was there, I'm pretty sure he would have probably just kept murdering.
That's kind of my question.
Yeah.
So
it's hard. It's really hard. I would say at this point, obviously, no. I do not, unfortunately, think they can be saved. I don't think we've done it before.
So should we just kill them? Or is putting them in a four walls for the rest of their life the best
you basically are, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're killing them. You're just letting them live their life basically already dead.
Yeah, with just their basic
I just have to pay
met.
for it with my tax dollars,
I mean, isn't it crazy that after you kind of learn about, frontal lobe damage and stuff like that, can you really blame them for doing what they're doing?
The bigger question for me would be, who the fuck am I supposed to blame?
Yeah.
If I don't blame the person who literally just killed someone.
Yeah.
Who are you supposed to damn it, damage? How dare you exist in this earthly plane to make people fucked up? It's like, no, everybody can take damage.
I feel like it's one of the like
it's such that's a rough question.
With a lot of the situations where it's like where they show early signs.
Mm-hmm, like animal mutilation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like doing all of these things.
I say kill them there.
Smearing feces.
like at what point
That's what they
is
say.
that like your
Is it like your
I don't
responsibility
wanna-
to maybe do something about it?
yeah, or like
Yeah.
to to report that or to go in with that. Granted, if you're a parent and you don't know that that's like a
You think something's
sign
going
and
on here.
things
Like maybe a therapist might be
Yeah,
at least a
like-
very good start.
yeah, I feel like at some point you have to be like, that's not normal.
Yeah.
That's not regular for my.
It's so weird though because we're all three sitting here and we're childless, so it's like it's got to be different. Like if you like,
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a child though, because you don't want to think that something's wrong with your child.
Yeah,
because
like you don't
it's your
want
child.
like
So
what
you-
is that?
Just over.
We need to talk about Kevin. Have you ever seen that movie?
No. I have
It's
not.
about a kid who is responsible for a school shooting. So
Okay.
he's like, but it's like creepy kind of movie of like showing him leading up to that point
I see.
and his family dynamic and all of these things of his family kind of being like, is this something we should be worried about? Is this blah, blah, blah,
Right,
blah, like
yeah.
back and forth kind of thing. And you're
That's-
like, oh, and like his parents are kind of starting to get a little worried and they like don't know what to do about it. And then it like leads up to him. And then he's shooting up his school. And then his parents are like, oh,
Maybe we should have done something
we
about
we
this.
really need to
Yeah.
talk about Kevin now.
Right,
and
yeah.
so, yeah, I feel like with it, given that they now profilers and stuff are like, oh yeah, these are the telltale early signs of that your kid might be a serial killer
Yeah.
or that your person might be a this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's difficult. It's a
Yeah.
really difficult answer because if there is something wrong with their brain,
I think in the future, there's going to be two things that can happen. Two things that happen. Either one, we're going to be able to tell these signs really early about the brain, and we're going to deem these people for extinction. Or B, we're going to find out some medical way to fix these people, to rehabilitate them.
yeah. Chill out on A, Hitler. All right, Jesus Christ.
They've
before
already
we
talked-
just start swathing out a whole fucking.
Well, they've already talked about that, doing early testing on people's kids, on people's babies when a woman's still pregnant, to tell if like there's a genetic problem or an issue, or maybe they can't breathe when it's going to be born.
That's really interesting. I mean, like we already have that. We already have that big talk, that big debate right now, whether you're pro-life or not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I feel like that's hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
Those two situations are like hand in hand. Like, are we going to start testing? Are we going to start doing like
Yeah.
surgeries and testing on literal babies because we think they could potentially be a serial killer down the road?
Yeah.
Whew, wow.
Like, I feel like that's it sounds fucked up.
Yeah.
But who are we as one person to take away another person's quality of life because of what they might do?
Yeah. What's that movie?
Minority Report.
Yeah, they did it pretty well. Watch that.
Yeah.
Like, because
Tom Cruise saves the day.
because then yet again we're back to giving someone the authority
Mm-hmm.
to do and make a decision.
That's a really muddy topic, I feel.
Yeah, based on like, I mean, that's the same thing of like having any sort of I don't know, anxiety disorder of I might not do this because of what could happen.
Yeah.
I've thought of
If we lived like that, we wouldn't get anywhere.
Yeah,
It would
in
be
a
real
very,
ass
like,
backwards.
Doctor Strange, I saw a million, and
This was the-
it-
yeah.
and this was the only option, and this was the only way. It's like in
Well, see, we'll look in 2 million
yeah.
places instead. You know,
Like-
find me another option here. right?
Yeah, and in my I mean, even in like my brain of the amount of things that could happen if I leave my house, run through my brain 100% of the day.
Yeah.
Like, so, and if typically
Yeah.
none of those
Yeah,
very tragic
You're here.
things
You're here right now. You're doing fine.
happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, then you're taking away, and you're like, well, they might be, and
Well,
you're like,
something-
oh,
Well, I might trip on the way outside, so I just won't go outside.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically,
Then you just don't do anything.
yeah.
Then it becomes stagnant, and then
So with most of these famous serial killers, a lot of their victims seem to be women.
Yeah.
Does it fear you at all being
Every
a
day.
woman?
100% of the day, every day of my life. Every day of
Kim might
my
not
life.
be the best person to ask that question.
Every fucking day when I walk out of the fucking grocery store, the amount of me walking from the store to my car, even in a public setting,
Yeah.
is like
Just don't
I
make
could
a
die.
level.
Or
I could die.
even just
I
like
could
the
die.
I could literally
Is this because like you think
die.
you're being like targeted, or is just like life is so full of these possibilities?
Life is so full of these possibilities, and
Both,
like
huh? A little
men
bit of column A,
exist,
column B.
and
Yeah.
like as
Hey, there was a woman on that list, Kim.
Yes.
Granted, she only killed men, so
yes,
God,
but
that
I
doesn't
mean
really help
like,
my-
but with all of these serial killers basically targeting women, or I mean even like sex trafficking being a huge thing. Granted,
Yeah.
I am a grown up.
Do you own a weapon, Kim? Do you carry around a weapon?
No,
That don't you
She
think that
didn't
might...
even have security cameras.
Yeah, I know. But, you know, we kind of talked about this. Kim feels safe around her neighbors.
You just
Yeah.
wait to what you're seeing you're getting for Christmas.
Okay.
You'll be
But-
protected.
Okay.
Don't you think that might help a little of the anxiety?
I don't know. See,
I'm
in
not
my
talking
it-
like a gun. I'm
to
maybe
me,
like a taser.
Yeah, so I have thought about wanting one of the, or like getting one of a taser. I
Thought about wanting it.
But in my brain,
Yeah.
I know that
You'd be
my
useless with
go-to, like, if you're listening, please don't attack me.
Yeah.
Please
don't. Please don't. She has
Please
enough
don't find out who I
stress
am and
in her
attack
life.
me.
Yeah.
Because in my brain, I know that I freeze. So
Oh.
I know
Okay.
that
that's good to be self-aware about.
So I know
about
that
this.
I probably in a moment wouldn't even think about that as being an option anyway.
Yeah.
Like that's where like Taylor and I have talked about it a lot of like he's like, well, you just have to, once it becomes muscle memory to worry about it
Yeah. Then you won't freeze.
or to know
your body will
you
just
won't
do
freeze.
it.
And I'm like, yeah, but
How's it going to become muscle memory? Was Taylor going to fake rob you?
probably, I don't know. And so
And you
I'm
get
like,
to tase him?
I hope.
You hope?
I,
You want
if
to
he's
do
gonna,
this?
Yeah, I gotta learn.
You know, I feel like Taylor would probably be on board with this.
He would.
Yeah.
And so it's like, or I mean, even, yeah, like walking out to my car in a parking lot, the amount in which I'm aware of if
Yeah.
there's someone in the car I'm parked next to,
Yeah.
how close are they parked to my car,
Yeah.
is there... If it's a van, it's fucking game over.
What do
I'm
you
turning
do?
around. I'm going back
Into
in.
the store?
I'm going
Oh,
back
yeah.
into the store. Like I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, even the other day, like a few weeks ago, I was at the dog park. I was the only one there,
Yeah.
and with my two dogs.
Oh well. Oh come on, Kim.
But I was there, and this van pulls up. It's an unmarked van, which then I was already kind of like weird, and their windows were all tinted, and I was like, now I feel weird, and
Weird. Now I feel weird.
I feel real weird. And they were parked, like, not, like, overly close to my car, but, like, kind of close, like, that. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna stay in the, like, I was getting ready to leave when they, like, pulled up and parked, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna stay here in this open park area where my dogs are off leash, I'll say here.
Yeah.
And then basically I just stayed there until someone else came to the park.
That's fair. I see what you're getting at.
And
but
so
Do you think that's a natural fear that most women have?
100%.
Probably, yeah, especially nowadays.
Yes.
Kim, I would have to say though, like in that exact situations, you're probably riding high, right? You gotta be. Though, if out of all of my friends, if I was ever approaching them and I had to fight them and their dogs, I think you would probably be number one who I didn't want to do that.
Probably.
The only person I could think who could maybe contend with you would be JT because of Rayleigh and only Rayleigh. But I still think Atlas and fucking Spencer have that.
Yeah.
Your dogs are like peak fucking specimens of fucking nature.
Yes.
They're sick as hell.
But still
They're
scary.
both goofs, though.
Yes.
It's still
but
very
still
scary. I understand
to
the
me.
scary.
So I was like, I'll just wait here. And then it was like one of those things of like it was an older guy that came to the park with his dog. And I was like, and I kind of was like, oh, hey, like I'm leaving. And I had like told him about, and he was like, oh, I'm actually like, that's good that you stayed until somebody came.
Yeah.
Like he was like, that was the right choice.
Smart move.
Or I mean, even sucks even being a woman at work. Like when I used to work at Subway, when I worked in the morning, I would open the store by myself, and I had situations where I had the same guy come into my work and was always really weird to me. And it was just like a really like weird situation where one time I was in there by myself and he was like aggressively like trying to get me to give him my phone number, and I was like, no. And I was the only one in the store.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so what do I do in this situation? And then like an older man who was a truck driver came in and like noticed the situation was weird, and then he like hung out with me until the guy just like got the point and left.
Cool.
But it's like, I think that like as a woman, every time you leave your house, you're like, that situation could happen where there could be somebody forcibly like trying to do something to me. And I, as much as it sucks, like a lot of the time, like in your brain, you're like, because you know that men are a lot bigger than you, they're all of these things, you're trying to get out of the situation in the nicest way possible as to not make it more aggressive of a situation, because you're like, I could be hurt in this. And like, what is that podcast? I don't even remember. My Favorite Murder. My Favorite Murder.
That one, yeah.
They have like their big saying is like fuck politeness. Like you don't need to be polite in like this situation that you're like nervous about.
Sure.
But it's like, yes, 100% if you're like out somewhere with more people. But when you're by yourself, you're like, I am gonna polite my ass off to get out of
you
this
don't want to
situation.
anger the person that could potentially just do the things you're worried about them doing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Being a woman has to be crazy. I've never once walked outside of my front door and had to worry about my butthole.
Yeah. It's scary.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I worry about it all the time.
I would not doubt
butthole.
that. That has to be absolutely horrifying, because if I think about it, that would be next level stress. If I had to walk out of my front door and one of the chief concerns was, is someone going to touch my butthole?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
I mean,
nuts.
even when just Bryce, who was on here, was at my house.
Yeah.
And
you got his butthole touched?
No.
Oh.
I walked outside to put a decal on my car because I like got decals on my dogs and they're really cute. And so I was putting them on my car, and as I'm just like outside my house, just like being a lady existing, this man stops in the middle of the street, there's two cars behind him. He stops traffic in the middle of my street to hit on me, to ask me, and which is like made it even further. He's asking me, "Is that your car?"
No.
And I was like, "Huh?" And he's like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah. That's a really cute car," going on about my stuff, asking me, "Oh, are those pictures of your dogs? Are those?" And I was like, and I'm outside of my own house.
Yeah. In your driveway, probably.
In my driveway, just like being a lady who lives at a house.
Existing,
and, like, it was like to the point where like Taylor and Bryce saw it and were like, "What the fuck?" And they got up, and so Taylor came out front.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What?" And the guy was like,
man?
He was like, "Okay, have a nice day," and drove away.
Yeah, you're goddamn right. I wouldn't want to mess with Taylor.
And I was like, And so then I like came in and Bryce was like, what the fuck? And I was like, welcome to just like being a lady who exists.
Yeah.
And
Jesus
so
Christ.
it's like when situations like that happen in anything like that, like it just reinforces the idea that you should be afraid.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Fuck.
yeah, and so like going and it's like yes, these situations are more like spread out and whatever and all the things. It's not like every day this is happening.
Yeah.
But it's still like enough to like reinforce the idea of like, oh,
You need to be very
I mean,
cautious.
almost one's enough to scare me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
like,
if
life
someone
is-
was out there targeting 29-year-old males, you know,
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck, dude.
yeah. That's me. I fit that
Do-
demographic.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be different if women were more jacked than guys, like just naturally? Do you
Yes.
think
Yes.
that yeah, do you think it wouldn't be, do you think it would, like, the roles would just be switched then? Like
Maybe
when,
it'd
like
be
men
even.
would have to be worried about, you know, going outside
their
because
buttholes.
women oh yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yes, I definitely think that it would probably reverse some things and a lot. I feel like if
But women don't really need the power thing that men are doing it for.
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like also if the societal view of women was different,
Yeah.
it would probably be like that would also change things. I feel like
Yeah.
if
You think we just need to give all women steroids? Like, do you think that would help if we just
No.
made them all jacked
no,
so guys
'cause
just
I
try and they
think
could
that
just
it
beat
would
the shit out of us?
it would still be then it would be like a male ego of one. Then I need to be bigger. I still need to be bigger than them. Or I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
talk to I don't know however many guys, and you're like, would you date a girl that's taller than you?
For sure.
I guarantee, like, and I feel like most men would be like, no, what?
Why?
Like,
I
I feel
am.
like
That's
that's,
on
a
my
thing.
bucket list.
Like, I feel like it's like, and so
Well, I mean, yeah, that's fair, but that's also not fair for me because I'm not that tall of a gentleman. You know, beggars can't be choosers, as
Yeah.
they say. You know,
And-
I'm just trying to get mine.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
no dog a
I
bone.
mean,
Come on.
if you were wondering, the internet is like going nuts for short kings right now.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't
so-
believe it. They're fucking lying.
No, so you could
Prove
be,
it. Prove it.
I will. when
Okay,
we're
the
done.
internet, but the internet can rally with me, but I don't see any of the women flocking Kim. Okay, that's fine that the internet's on my side. I
Okay.
can't fuck the internet.
Everyone out there on the
I don't want to
podcast?
fuck the internet.
Okay, listen.
Tucker's single and ready to mingle.
We have a short king, as the women would
Okay.
refer to him.
Also,
Not short.
Yeah.
He's not actually that short.
I'm average. Yeah, I'm the national average. So
Yeah.
please, I'm fine with being called average. So not short.
We have an average king.
Think that's fine. That's fine.
Out here.
Accept this. Accept
So now, if what we're saying, if
Yeah.
you could just like walk outside your front door and
Yeah.
maybe you would be catcalled.
this. That'd be nuts. I wouldn't like that.
See,
Yeah.
I could
Yeah.
tell you. I could-
See,
I'm on women's side. I'm with this for sure.
I am backing.
100%.
I am backing women in
Yeah,
this.
that sounds
So-
annoying as fuck. Don't
Yeah.
whistle at me. Don't tell me
Yeah,
how
so
attractive I
100%
am.
of
I
the
looked in the
time-
mirror this morning. I am on the same page as you, dude. I
Yeah,
don't need to yell
you
at
have
me.
to like be like crazy, like aware of like when someone is. If someone is whistling at you,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, now I need to be aware of who is on the other side of that, and how am I going to react?
How have you guys got this far? How have you done it? Perseverance, right? It's just got to be.
Yeah.
the will.
Katie like goes off on these people.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't
she
doubt
does.
it. That's scary. I don't
Yeah.
want that. In my
She's
life,
told me some
ever.
horror stories.
Okay.
Like, some
I-
guys
Dude.
like the story you said about the guy stopping with the car. She told me a story like that. Like she was walking Gus and some
Nuts.
guy just stopped his car and started hitting on her.
What is that? Hello? You're in a car. You're in a vehicle. You're
Yeah.
doing a specific thing.
Yeah.
Do not stop. doing
Guys
that.
like that remind me of serial killers. Not the
Yeah.
fact that they're serial killers, but how different they are from myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like something in their brain.
It's like a different
Right.
breed of man.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of stuff that just makes me look around. I'm like, am I the weirdo here? Am I
Yeah.
the alien that got beamed to Earth?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what is
because
going on?
You're like, I would never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm driving
how
a
I
car.
get through life the exact opposite of Katie. I'm not gonna go off on someone. I'm going to put my head down and fucking move through
Yeah.
my life, which is probably not like that's not fixing the problem, but I am
It's getting through the problem.
yeah, I am far too uncomfortable because in my you're probably not going to change some guy's opinion if he's a 30-year-old man who is still doing this, who has done this a billion times. Like, I'm not going to be the woman that changes your mind that you shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
So...
And no jab at you, Kim. You're also not beating anyone's ass.
I'm not.
No.
I'm not at all. And I'm literally just like, okay, I'm just going to fucking hope that just move through my life and hope that like doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And then it does. And then you're like, okay, and now I'm just going to silently move through my life, not drawing any attention to myself with my head down for forever. And it's still going to happen, but I'm not going to, like, I don't think that I have the amount of like oomph in me to like yell at some guy
Which
who's
is
like
fair. Which is very
who's
fair.
talking to me. And
That's like a gamble too, right? It's like, hey, this could maybe work,
Yeah.
or it could just escalate the situation even more. That's a gamble
And
you
then I would
probably
die.
shouldn't take, right?
and
Yeah, like you were talking about
Good idea.
before, you're all about de-escalation, so
yeah.
yeah. And
But-
then
sounds
Do you I mean, oh god, I don't even know how you deal with that situation.
I think the best way
Wish I
to
had
deal with
advice
it
for you.
is Jesus.
Kick him
I
in
don't
the
know.
sack. That's the best way to deal with it.
Hopefully
Some-
there's another guy
Right
around
there
and
in
he
the
beats his
sack.
ass.
Just
Yeah,
kick him square
that-
in the sack and run.
sometimes you just like act literally dumb as fuck until it's too uncomfortable and they just are like, well, this is you, then you just move on. That's what I
good.
typically do.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
What?
Huh?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, what? Or sometimes what happens is they'll say something to me and then if I repeat it back to them, I'm like, did you say? And then sometimes they're like, oh, that's
I mean, I don't think so.
Oh,
Did
I
you just
Actually,
call me
no.
a hot mama?
and then that sometimes makes it uncomfortable, or sometimes you just like pretend they said nothing.
Yeah.
And then they are like, did she not hear me? And
Right.
then like sometimes if you guys are bold, they'll repeat it and then you ignore it again and then
Oh,
they're
cool.
like,
Oh. Have you ever tried like just do like miming sign language?
no.
I thought that would be fun. Right? Just try a little sign language, like, you know, that's poop, if you're wondering. Yeah.
I know.
I
got it.
Wait, no. The only sentence I know in sign language is, what's I? What's like myself? That's not one I forget. But I was taught I and then need and then held. Mm-hmm. So I've got that.
Yeah. You're like, and they're like, what?
Yeah, but I feel
Yeah.
like that one was
I
useful,
just
right?
confuse.
Shout
Yeah,
out to
that's
JC.
like the ultimate thing. Just confuse. And
Yeah.
then they're like,
Wouldn't that be cool? If you just like razzle dazzled them with a little sign language and they were just like, oh, I don't know sign language, and they left.
yeah.
People,
Give it a try. Let me know how that goes.
go ahead and write in with your stories about
Actually, I hope
getting
that never has
catcalled
to happen
and
to you, Kim.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
It's gonna be so. It's gonna like I think it's one of those things that like as men who don't do that, you will if people tell you situations of them being catcalled, you will be appalled
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
of that like men are a thing, and then it will make sense like why you're like, oh, I understand like being a lady is scary and hard.
Yeah, I already understand it. That
It's
makes
like-
a lot of
it's
fucking
so-
sense. I'm glad I pulled the man card when I came out of the womb. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
No
'cause
offense to ladies. You guys are
You're
sweet.
doing great.
Yeah, you guys are number one in
You're
my
crushing
book.
it. Yeah,
But-
like and
Due to the circumstances.
yeah,
It's kind of,
and it's like one of those things of like it's but I mean also like shout out to ladies who like fucking go for it and are like I
yeah.
don't give a fuck, I'm either gonna like
Shout out
I'm
to
gonna-
ladies who can beat my ass.
yeah, shout out to those ladies, and also ladies who are like I don't even care, like I'm gonna dress hot as fuck however I want,
Oh, definitely
don't
shout out to you
fucking
ladies.
talk to me.
I'm not gonna
or
catcall
I'm
you,
gonna
but
go
I'm
off.
gonna look. I'm gonna look just a little sneak peek. You know. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and you're like respectfully.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Respectfully,
Respectfully, you looking fine.
Yeah,
In my head,
and-
though, not like
yeah,
unless the conversation's already been initiated.
but just
Just existing sounds really hard for you.
Yeah, it
And
just
that
couldn't
is
be me.
insane to me.
yeah.
It should not be this hard for ladies, guys. Can we stop? Can we tone it down a notch, please?
yeah, hopefully
we
none
just
of our
let them
listeners are
be?
none of those
Stop killing us.
Can we? Yeah, please stop all of that bad stuff
Please
against
kindly.
women. They're really tight and rad. So
Yeah.
take it down. At least
Yeah.
a couple notches for me. Cool. There we go. There's my world-changing message for the day. That'll help.
Go ahead and write in with your stories, though, to the whatever podcast at gmail.com. All right, Kim, another question for you.
What stories are you looking for?
And then we'll take a break after this question.
Okay.
Have you watched the new season of Dexter?
I haven't watched Dexter at all. One
Oh,
time.
just in
You've
general,
never
really?
seen Dexter?
Never one time.
Really?
That's crazy to
I
me.
forget how
I
many
know.
seasons I've seen.
Do you
See,
feel like you're so far behind now? You can't
yes,
watch
I
it?
do feel like I'm so far behind now. And also, to just like throw it out there, I didn't know that Dexter was about like
Serial killer.
a serial killer until probably like pretty recently.
How did you just like not know anything about Dexter?
I didn't know anything about it,
Okay.
and like nobody that I knew, like not that,
Talked
like
about
not
it
nobody
or
that I
anything.
knew watched it, but like nobody talked to me about it, and
Sure.
so then like when I would see stuff about it, when I first saw things, I just thought that he was like a guy who cleaned up crime scenes. That's what I
Bloody,
thought the show
crime
was
scenes.
about.
I was like, what'd you think the blood was for? But
Yeah, I
crime
was like, I
scenes,
thought
yeah,
he was
makes
like
sense.
what, like you know how they're like, oh, they need
That's-
people that do that. I thought
Yeah.
that's what the show was about.
Is there a show like that where a guy who cleans up crime scenes is actually like secretly solving the mysteries and stuff? There should be. Write that down,
There
Kim.
definitely
Write that
should
down.
be.
Write that down.
Mm,
rich.
Like the janitor that solves the murder or something, you know?
Yeah, something like that. But but the crime clean scene up. Wow, what in the
Yep.
heck am
You-
I trying
you
to say?
got
I
it.
do not know.
Crime scene
clean
That
up.
guy, you guys know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, the
Who,
brain
so
pushers.
Yeah, he just came in and he like moved the body and he saw something that no one else saw. And then
That's actually
boom.
not a bad idea.
That's
No,
what I'm
no one
saying.
take
Write
that.
down.
Oh, we don't have to write it down. It's recorded.
Yeah,
But keep a note of
yeah,
it.
sweet.
in
Yeah,
your brain.
exactly.
Because if you didn't listen, if you don't want to listen this far, you got to keep a note of it.
Try.
Also, just like kind of off topic, but a thing that I just learned.
Huh.
Did you know that House, the medical show,
Yeah, you, Lori.
yes, is like
This build up is insane.
is a kind of like spin-off version of why did I just forget his name? Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes.
Wow. You're saying he's
That's
like a
why
he's
it's
like a
called House.
medical detective. That's
No,
why it's
that's
called
why it's
House.
called House. It's a play on Holmes.
Is it? Is that
Yes.
what it is?
Yes.
Okay. I can see. Who's his Watson, or did they not go that far?
The doctor, his other doctor friend.
There's a he's got a
Oh,
couple.
yeah. The main
There's a-
friend.
Yeah, but there's the blonde lady, and then there's the other guy.
Huh.
There's two.
Yeah, the main
There's two.
doctor guy that's like his best friend.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the
The African
hospital
American
lady?
man, and then the blonde lady.
Yeah, I know who you're talking. I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Thank you, Kim.
But there's
You're looking at me, but Google it. Look it up.
Yeah, but I just learned that, and I literally was fully blown away.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of House, and I didn't really get Sherlock Holmes vibes from it, though.
It's because he's like solving unsolvable mysteries with
Yeah.
random shit,
Yeah.
and then
some
he's
real
like
far
putting
out
stuff
shit.
together and
He
doing
walks
all the
in the
things.
room and takes a whiff.
Yeah,
You're pregnant. Huh?
yeah,
How did you know?
yeah.
Smells like.
Blown away. I literally was like, and it was one of those moments where I was like, in my brain, how did I not connect that House and Holmes?
Hey, to be fair, I would have never put
I
that together. I don't
didn't.
think most
Well-
people put this together, Kim. To be
Boom.
honest.
Yeah.
Drop that for you.
You hear that, viewers? Listeners? Viewers. Listeners is what I meant to say.
Yeah,
You
you
hear
could-
it? Good. You just got some knowledge dropped on you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're also going to hear a word from our sponsors.
All right.
I'm going to read that first.
Yeah.
and then we'll
You're
take a
going
break.
to read it first. Okay. There's only one because I didn't think
I
you
saw.
don't do two. You don't do two in one podcast. So we only need one per podcast, right?
Yeah.
How many?
I love making sponsors, guys. I want you to know that.
Brr, is it cold nowadays? Fear not. It is Matt from the Whatever Podcast bringing warmer weather tidings. We've partnered up with Susan Slipper Conglomerate, SSC, to protect your little toesies from the frigid winter. You can get one of our 2 custom-designed slippers for basically free when using our code WHATEVER at checkout. Pick from either Tuck's Toe Trappers or Matt's Mobile Mashers at ssc.com and gear up for our glacial temperatures.
Romeo and Juliet. Oh my god, that's the only old romance fucking thing
No,
I could
it's like
think of.
modern romance, basically. But
I
so
kind of
I think that the
to be
reason
honest.
that I like those books not because I'm like, oh fuck yeah, the sex. Like that's not like I don't
Yeah, there's porn for that online, Kim.
yeah, and I mean like I did my sister suggested me a book the other day and I told her I was like if there's not sex in it, I'm not gonna read it. So
Wait, was that a joke, or do you literally always need some people fucking in your books?
mostly.
Mostly?
Yeah.
Wait, as in they're mostly fucking, or you
No,
mostly
no,
need
mostly,
them to have...
mostly need them to be
coitus.
together in some point.
Yeah.
Not like
No.
that. I have to see them have not see them
Yeah,
read them
yeah,
have
there you
sex.
go, yeah.
It's just like they have to like be together at some point.
Oh, okay,
Like,
okay.
I
So they
just-
don't gotta be boning for you to be reading.
No. I just like I was reading a book. Like this was not this last book I read, but the book before that. It was like 580 pages or something,
Sure.
and I was like, this is like
It's a little hefty fine.
kind of a long book.
Yeah, let's...
But it's by this author that I always try that she is what the book community would consider a slow burn author. So her stories are like her characters like evolve throughout it but very slow.
Oh, okay, sure.
And so like it's like very plot heavy, I guess is
Yeah.
what you would consider it. But so I'm like, are these people even gonna like each other? Because I'm 200 pages in and
Yeah.
they barely even interacted.
Oh, well, that's...
And then it was like I was like 350 pages in,
And you're like...
and I was like,
"Okay,
what?
go
And then
on."
they kissed one time at 350 pages, and I'm like, are they dating now? What's going on?
Yeah.
That's
Do they need to be for you to finish the book? Or do you finish the books in the hope that they are
in
dating
the
by
hopes
the
that they
end?
are. I'm very much like if there's not a happy ending, like don't include me.
Okay. So, can someone give you a book that has a romance in it, but it maybe isn't primarily focused on the romance? Would you still read that?
That would probably be fine.
Yeah, if just two people liked each other. What if
Yeah.
it, so,
A love story.
Yeah, or even if it's just like even if it's just a book about even like two friends, like them being friends and then
Yeah.
like their friendship evolving into like a better friendship or something, I'm down with that. I just like really like the human connection
you sure? Oh, yeah.
and like and also like people's it's like really weird to say, but people's relationships in general, like the relationship dynamic is so interesting to me.
Yeah. I
So
get that, yeah.
like even like not even just like even relationships, just like friendships with people, like how they
How they
work or how
interact
they
with each other.
function and how they interact is like so
Fascinating.
like fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Because like it's like hard for me to be like, oh, this relationship is so different from mine, but it still works, and it just like blows me away that like sometimes how people interact or I mean even not even just like the intimacy of it or just like the I don't know, it's just so interesting.
Yeah, I
like
agree.
The
me
familiarity of it.
like me watching even like other people, like how like other people's friendships work and function, I'm like, dang, that
That's
blows me
cool.
away. It's like so cool.
That's
so then
cool.
like when I am reading like romance novels or things, I'm like, this
I like
is
this.
two different people like from very different things, and they're finding common ground on whatever, and they're coming together even if they are different, and they're like having this relationship that like works for them.
Yeah.
Or like yeah, it's like always really interesting to me. So basically all the books that I read have some sort of like relationship involved.
I just picture if you weren't so anxious, you would be a diplomat. You like bringing people together and like that connection of that ground.
Yeah,
But
probably.
then they put you on a podium and
then I would
yeah, not so
die.
much, Kim.
If
Yeah,
you look
we'll-
at me,
we'll-
I'll
yeah,
kill
we just-
myself.
we just usher you off stage real quick. Like no.
Please no.
But you're bringing nations together.
Yeah,
If
like I
that's-
just like
if that's not the
really
case.
like I really like it. Like I mean even knowing that like how you two have been friends for so long, and I mean even knowing you since middle school and seeing even like because I've seen your friendship then and I've seen it now, and how it's evolved from then to now is still like blows my mind.
Right.
Like cuz it's just like so
Mine too.
interesting.
Still blows my mind, too.
Like about how like you like you've been friends for so long, you've lived together for so long, you've done all of these things, and then now you don't live together and you're still close friends, and then you still like
We still live close. I'm like literally
yeah,
5 minutes
yeah,
away,
Yeah.
you know?
but
I didn't get too far,
it's
but
just
yeah.
like it's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have at least one throughout the whole testament of time, you know?
Yeah, and
You
it's
don't gotta go
it's
looking for
interesting
anything.
because you guys are still so like you're individual people,
Mm-hmm.
and that is still like what.
Right, yeah, you still, yeah, you don't, it's not
But-
like we're the same thing, do the same
Yeah.
stuff all the same
Yeah,
time.
Katie was saying even with the podcast, she said that when she listens to it, you can tell the distinct difference between me and Tucker because
Yeah.
just our voices are so different. We just like different things. We talk about different things.
Yeah.
You know?
But you're still like best buds,
Yeah.
and that's
Oh,
still
yeah.
like
Because there's
it's
still
so
a lot
cool.
of fucking shit we do, like, that are all very similar.
yeah.
Still like a lot of the
Or
same
I mean,
stuff.
like it, like yeah, even seeing just like other people's even like relationship dynamics. Like not saying that it's like wrong in any way or
No.
anything. It just is so like
just
interesting
how
to
different
me.
it can be.
Yeah,
is
like-
what's really cool about it.
Like I mean, even like me being married and having other siblings who are married, the differences in all of our relationships is so interesting. And then see like because I mean there's 6 of us, so then we all come together, and then all of us have partners, so there's 12 of us.
Yeah.
And then we're all like interacting in this like weird like mesh of people who are all
It's like
some
this
kind
weird-
of related, but like
Yeah.
and so it's like it's so cool for me to look and see and everyone be so different, or like
So different and so similar at the same time.
yeah, like
That's, like,
because
it's
we're
in
all
this-
like this like
Like
we're
some
all
paradox
units
level of thinking. Like it's like, how are you guys so similar and so different at the same time,
Yeah.
but still like each other? And what
Yeah,
the hell is
like-
going on?
this is like such a small thing that I like notice that my mom does, because she has like such a different view of like married couples.
Okay.
So like anytime my mom will call me, if I answer, she always will be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And if I tell, I'm like, "Oh, doing this. I'm going to get food." She's always like, "Is Taylor with you?" And I'm like, "No." She's like, "Well, where is he?" And I'm like, "He's doing this." And she's like, "Well, why aren't you with him?" And she like has this like weird idea of like, if I'm doing something, Taylor should just be with me because we're married.
Yeah.
And I'm
Because
like,
you're conjoined at the hip.
I see.
yeah. And I'm like,
And you guys didn't get surgery to remove that. So
yeah.
what's going on?
And she like gets sometimes like if she'll, because my mom calls me a lot. So,
Sure.
so if she calls me one day and I'm like not with Taylor, and then she calls me the next day and I'm not with Taylor, she will get really stressed. And she like thinks there's some sort of distress in my marriage.
No,
And
no.
I'm like,
And I just had to work twice in a row, Mom.
yeah. And
my
I'm like,
bad.
no, I don't know. Like, you do realize we live in the same house. We see each other every day.
Yeah.
Like in the morning and
I
at
touch
night.
base.
And
yeah.
and she just, for some reason, even though she, was married for
Yeah.
20 years,
Yeah.
she still is like, oh my God, if you're separate, it might not work. And we're like, I'm like,
Is
I
that
am.
how it was for your parents? Were they like always together?
No.
Yeah.
And that's what's really weird. So I don't know if that's like a,
Like her like looking at yours.
Yeah,
and being
like,
this
if
is how
she's
you
like,
make
we
it work
weren't-
because we didn't do this.
yes. I don't know if she's like stressed because she's like, we didn't do all of the things together and it didn't end up panning out how I thought it would. So maybe if you do everything together, it'll turn out fine. And I'm like, nah, like we're
No.
both really
This is
individual
just
people.
working because we're doing it like
yeah,
this. you
who
know?
like
It's like-
have individual thoughts and ideas and plans
Yeah.
for the day.
Yeah.
Completely understand.
Two
Like,
people.
people at work never understood where I used to work. Never understood that I was like, yeah, me and Katie don't sleep in the same bedroom. Like, we have
Yeah.
our own bedrooms. And they're like, what? Aren't you guys together? Have you been dating for like 4 years? And I'm like, yeah, but she takes up the entire bed.
Yeah,
She sleeps diagonal,
yeah. And you're like, and it just doesn't.
and I'm narcoleptic. So it's
Yeah.
like it just doesn't. It just doesn't work right.
Did anyone ever question maybe it's lasting for 4 years plus because we're doing these things?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They never. No,
I
they
think
never
that
do.
people just like stick on like the
norm.
that's like that's not the norm and that's weird. And that just like it just is so interesting to me. Like not even the fact that like it's like, oh, I don't think it's weird that you guys sleep in separate rooms.
No.
I'm just like in my brain, then that means you probably have to do other things throughout the day to stay connected throughout your relationship, and it's like that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything. It just like blows me away.
It is
Give me a little claws in there.
intriguing and
on,
also interesting to me that you can think so in depth about people's relationships. Like that is an area where I have never thought so deeply about till today,
Yeah,
you know? So that's really crazy.
yeah. Like my it's probably like weird to some people, but like my boss and her best friend interact like so differently than anything, and so sometimes I'll just be like sitting and like watching them interact, and I'm like not engaging in the conversation because it's not mine, and they'll just be like, and they'll just like be like,
kind of looking at you like, why are you staring at
yeah,
us?
and I'm always just like, this is so fascinating, just like two best buds who literally hang out all the time, and I just like can't get over this.
Have you ever thought of hiding when you were doing this? You know?
No.
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 You're like a nature documentary person,
Yeah.
you know? Here we have the two wild best friends.
Yeah, basically.
How they've been together this long, we'll never know.
Yeah.
But we're here to find out.
Dad, yes, I am here to find out. I'm here to find out.
We need to get you like little,
literally
like
everything.
those hats they wear in the jungle.
Yeah.
Can you? I just want you to wear that.
My binoculars looking at them when they're across the room and they're just
You're just sitting there. This is madness. I can't understand it for the life of me.
yeah, like I
The
just
relationship.
it's really cool. And so like reading books about just, and not even like from
Oh my god, that's how
not
we got
even like
onto this.
scientific like human connection, just like someone sat down, an author sat down and was like, I'm gonna take pieces from maybe different people that I know, maybe I fucking made it all up,
Yeah.
in my brain, and I'm gonna put it down and I'm gonna write about this relationship of this, of whatever, and then somebody's gonna get to read about from one person's point of view of how things are playing out. So fucking good, man.
You're so jazzed right now. I love
I
it.
really am.
I'm glad you decided to talk about your books.
It's like it literally
Half
like
of that wasn't books, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, but I mean like that's like why I like to read them is
Yeah.
because it's like it's so fucking cool. Like people are so fucking cool, man. Like it's just like so fucking sick. Or
People are
like
so fucking cool.
yeah, like they really are. Or like it's even crazier when you add in like real life, like seeing people like be parents. Bro,
Yeah, that's pretty nutty. That is pretty.
you have to like teach a small person
how to
person.
exist.
How to
Yeah.
person.
How to
They don't
just
know how to
exist.
do shit when
They
they,
really
come
don't.
out.
Yeah.
And they
And then like to see like two people who are different teach a small person, you're just like meshing your two things together, your ideas, and to make this like one person.
I don't understand it. I go over to my sister's house and I deal with my niece and nephew for 2 to 3 hours, and I don't understand how they do it all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. All the
Yeah.
time. They just have those two existing around them.
Yeah. And they're just
I like they have to be like akin to like war veterans.
yeah.
It's like insane.
And then
the
they just,
amount
like,
that they can
do-
just put up with and just still keep going
Yeah.
for the betterment of it all. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess that's probably love towards their children.
Yeah,
but
like
that's nuts.
like maybe they
That's
love them a
crazy.
lot. But
Yeah,
like,
I'm pretty sure they do.
I
but
tolerate them,
yeah,
so
that's that. Yeah,
I don't have that amount of
that's
love.
spot on.
So to
I
me,
do, but it's still. I feel like I would. Oh my.
yeah, you're like
Holy
I
moly.
at some point would reach a point and be like, I can't do this every day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because to me, I mean,
I probably need to have the kid to probably give like an accurate
yeah,
opinion
because I
on
feel
that.
like to you as not a person who has a kid, I mean, this is how I feel at least. It's
Yeah.
like this is work for me
yeah,
to be here to do these things. I'm doing it because I guess I love your child.
Yeah, I
probably.
voluntarily
I'm not,
do
obviously I don't
this
love
work.
like a stranger's
I
child.
voluntarily, with love, do this work. You
Yeah,
know, we can get
but,
together.
like-
we can handshake on this. That this is work. you
Yeah,
know.
like,
you can
this is
agree
work
that it is.
to
I can
you.
agree that it is.
To you, this is
Yeah.
a lifestyle.
Yeah,
This is parenting.
yeah, that's insane.
And
I'm just
that's a
trying
life.
to emulate a small piece of it, and it's
And
hard.
you-
It's
yeah, you're
really
like, I'm putting in
hard.
so much
It's really
work.
hard, and then I just picture them doing it all the time.
Yeah, they're
I'm
doing
like,
it all the time.
How?
And being
How?
married.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
And
so,
having jobs.
Yeah.
Where my sister's a teacher. She
Yeah.
teaches first graders. I don't
She's-
understand.
yeah, I don't. You're like
I don't-
going.
I
You're
don't
like
understand.
melding people's kids. You come home, you meld your own kid,
Kids.
and then you still have to like have a relationship on top of that.
Yeah, and then she has like she's like great at keeping up with like family too and all that stuff and like
Yeah.
her friends. I'm like, usually you lose one of those departments.
Yeah.
Usually one of them goes to the wayside because your life is just being overwhelmed.
Yeah, no. And,
And
your
they-
sister
and they
said,
keep
"I'm
doing
gonna."
it.
Yeah,
I don't
I'm gonna
understand
do it all the time.
I just don't. I don't
can't.
understand. Not even my sister alone. Other people do that.
Yeah,
How do people do this?
yeah.
If
Yeah,
you
I'm
could
not-
write
I'm not
in
ready
and just
yet.
maybe I don't know,
Yeah.
like just some personal life tips. I'll take anything. You know,
Yeah,
I'm,
like how do you? 'Cause
beggars
I mean,
can't
like,
be choosers. Like
I don't.
said
I
earlier.
can't plan anything.
Yeah, yet alone a life. That's
Yeah,
yet alone my own.
yeah. No, I. Some days on.
They just let you turn 18 and then just give you the driver's. They just give you the driver's seat. They're
Yeah.
like, there you go, kid.
On my
Smack
days
you on the
off,
ass and
sometimes
you're
I
out.
lay there and I'm like, maybe life will happen to me today,
Yeah,
and maybe it won't.
maybe.
And then after hours, I'm like, I guess I have to be the one to do it.
yeah. You're like, oh shoot, that's me. I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh fuck, it's me. I'm,
The electric bill. Yeah, that was me. Oh.
I'm chasing life. Life isn't chasing me. I'm like, fuck, I gotta go. And then I like,
You think it's right behind you, and so you keep looking behind you.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you look forward, and it's in front of you, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh,
And you're
wow.
like, God
oh,
damn
how the turns have tabled.
yeah. And then I'm like, oh, I think that being a grown up who like, it's consider like executive function. Like I don't have any, so I can't. Like I am so bad at executive function. So then like knowing that I'm like, I go to work from this time to this time.
Yeah.
That makes my brain so happy.
Yeah. I feel like I have some of that too, and just getting any kind of structure is just like handed to you.
Yeah.
Whether it
That I
be even
literally
bad,
am like-
a little bad sometimes, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
at the
I
same
wake
time,
up
too.
and
It's
I'm like,
I know what
this
I'm
was
doing.
planned for me.
Yeah,
I
I am
know I
being-
have to go to work from this
Yes.
time to this time. And then like the fact that after that set time, I have to make it all up.
Yeah.
You're telling me I have to make it up?
Yeah. It's kind of some of it is pretty cool. Some of it's pretty
I
tight. Like
got a
sleeping.
life.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It is really cool. Or like even, oh my God, people plan vacations.
Yeah.
You do,
they
excuse
do
me?
that. I know.
Yeah, dude, I'm pretty good at that.
I plan all of my vacations.
Yeah, where do we go?
please,
Where do you
because
go?
like, yes, where do you go?
Yeah, where do you go?
Where do you vacation?
Yeah.
You have to pick a time to do that. You have to pick days,
Yeah.
and then you have to like probably fly there,
Probably.
Figure out what you can do with your dogs.
figure out what you're gonna do with your dogs.
I don't have this. I'm finding I'm pretty actually not too bad at traveling. I've done a lot of it.
Like I feel like I'm
Hate it.
I'm okay at traveling, but just like making
But
the
planning
decisions.
No.
No.
Decision making is hard.
I can find the cheapest hotel anywhere.
What is it?
Okay, well,
Is it-
why are you not
What's the cheapest hotel anywhere?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
right
I'm
now,
saying like in any section, I can find you the cheapest hotel.
Oh, okay.
dude?
Well, what's the cheapest in all the sections?
Ooh, you could probably find a hotel for like $26.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Is it a shack?
It is like a 2-tier outdoor door motel.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We've
Where
wandered
you
into
jingle
motel
the
territory.
door and it kind of opens up a little bit.
okay.
And there's
This
no
is-
blinds on the windows.
All right. Well, you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're ever low on cash but you need to stay somewhere, $26.
$26.
Matt knows a place.
Where anyone can come in your room at any time
Yeah.
because all you have to do is
Hey, you
wiggle
just-
the door
You
handle.
just need a roof. All right. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you just need a roof.
You just need a roof and a couple bed bugs.
Yeah. Oh no, you don't need those.
No, I have 2 more questions for you.
You have
Okay.
to shoot that.
First question, did you install those cameras yet?
No, why are you looking at me like I'm gonna install them? I'm waiting
I-
for someone to do it for me.
I offered to install them
Executive
for you.
decisions. We're
No,
mad
no,
at
no,
them.
no, no, we're going back to this.
Okay.
You
On
offer-
that day, I
you-
offered to install them for you, and you said, no, Matt,
Okay,
I'll
well,
install them.
for people who want to
That's
know,
true.
Matt
Now
gave
we'll peel
me
back the layers
security
later.
cameras for my birthday, and as I was unwrapping them, he said, "Do you want me to install them right now?"
Yeah.
And I said, "No, I just got them for my birthday. Give me 1 second."
Which is no.
No, it's not.
So I'm sitting here
So,
like, okay,
listen,
well, I'm just
okay.
a professional at this. I guess I just won't do it for you.
Okay, well, okay, so I will tell you what I am really happy. I was explaining this to Tucker when he came over the other day.
true.
I was really happy that I did not put them up because we had that really bad windstorm
Yeah,
after
yeah.
you gave them to me, and the where we were gonna put it, the wind was like beating my house like crazy, and I was like, what if it ripped it off my house?
Do you think I would have gave you a camera that's just made to not get
Withstand
through
a
fucking wind?
windstorm? I don't fucking know.
There,
Fucking
Kim,
yes.
there was also your
Gust.
cop out there too. You could have said you put them up and the windstorm blew them down, and then been like,
Oh, sorry.
I wouldn't
Hey,
have believed
Matt.
you
it.
don't have to apologize to me. Kim.
Erase that.
That's your
I
cop
put
out.
them up, and the windstorm knocked them right down. You gave me a birthday present that wouldn't withstand a windstorm.
All right. I'll install those later. Moving on.
Okay, thanks.
I'm going to ask you the question that I ask all my guests, and it
Okay.
is
That's very
applicable to you as well. You're going to think it's not.
Okay.
Why'd you raise your eyebrows? Are you okay?
You're going to make a D&D character,
Oh, God.
okay?
Okay.
But it's in this reality, on this world,
Okay.
on Earth,
So a
at
person?
this time.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. What are your main skills, and what are you fighting against?
Oh wait, can I interject with a question here?
Sure.
She said a person. Can she be anything she wanted to be?
Oh, and
That exists on Earth?
Yeah, yeah.
So is it, I'm making a character separate from myself, or I'm making myself this character?
You're making
Separate
yourself this.
from yourself.
Oh,
Oh, we had different ideas there. Okay, so separate from myself.
it could be anything. though, you know?
I don't know what D&D characters do. Like, what's the categories? What,
Oh,
okay.
you don't have to worry about that. Like skills as in fucking can fry an egg perfectly, or never burns toast.
But if you were
Or-
curious, it's stuff like strength, charisma, intelligence,
Okay.
wisdom.
Okay.
What are the other ones? Is there one more? I think.
And then I have to fight against something?
Yeah, what
like
don't you like in the
like
world?
a big bad. It can be anything. It could
Oh,
be
okay.
a lot of people have said capitalism.
I think all
Cool.
three of our guests said capitalism. If you'd want me
Oh
to
my
be completely
God,
frank.
everybody's fighting against capitalism.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't
so
either
say
until
something
we
different than
started
that.
interviewing
I will.
people.
I won't say capitalism.
You can. Why can't you?
So it might be easier to
we won't
pick your big bad first, and then your skills to fight
Yeah.
against it.
So at first, I would like to. At first, when you said that I had to fight against something, I was gonna throw out my like very. I just want to see how your guys' feel on this. Everyone always gets really upset at me when they're like, if there was a zombie apocalypse, like, what would you do? How long would you survive? Who would you pick? What would, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everyone always gets so mad that I literally am like, I would kill myself. As soon as it was announced,
Okay, why? Why? Let's hear it. You just be an insta zombie though. Like, are you gonna refrain yourself after
the
you shot yourself?
amount of fight in me is 0.
Yeah, you do freeze up. We've learned.
I would you don't want me on your team.
I mean, you're not
I'm
my first
always
round
stressed.
pick.
And so then I also I just don't want to live through those situations or that's like experience. I don't want to be like, wow, I fucking did it.
Hey.
Nope. I feel like the journey to get to the other side of zombie apocalypse is not worth it to me.
All right, so I have to. All right. I'm not gonna stop you from killing yourself because it doesn't seem like I possibly could.
I'm gonna stop you.
If this happened, yeah, he might. But I have a question. How long after the announcement? Like, does it have to be like? What if there's literally one, and then the government comes and blasts it in the head? You're
might
you're
not make
dead.
it that
You're dead
far.
at one. You're dead at one.
I
The
might
lady
not make
comes
it that
on.
far.
The lady comes on the news and says, "We have an incident of one person being a zombie. We have the military coming. You've already put the gun in your mouth and you're dead."
I mean,
And then,
if-
Joe Biden jumps out of a helicopter with his machete and just lops its head off, and it's done.
I mean,
But you're dead on the ground. Like,
probably.
can we?
As
can
soon as they say,
Do you see what
national emergency zombies, done.
do you see what I am saying though?
Yes, I do see
Could you
what you're
maybe
saying.
give it a little time? Like if it's
Maybe.
like a state is overrun and this is looking,
It has-
then
okay, I
then I'll be
guess-
like, you know what, Kim, if you want to die, you could
I
probably
guess
I get it.
if a state is overrun, it's not my state. They're saying we're trying to take care of it. Maybe if life continued as normal,
Yeah.
I
No-
would probably be like, all right.
Okay.
I sure
okay,
hope
cool.
no one tries to prank you. You're gonna get 10 seconds
I don't
into
think
it.
Kim's
and,
that
and-
stupid.
No, I feel like
I just implied that Kim was stupid. That's
not
not
that
what I
stupid.
meant. That's not what I meant. That's
But-
not what I meant.
yeah. So like that's my hot take on zombie
Yeah,
apocalypse.
yeah.
Because
All
I
I'm
feel
saying
like,
is give us some time.
so
give it a little
yes.
bit. A
So
little
if
bit.
like it's like one of those like out of sight, out of mind. Like if they're like it's in Wyoming
Yeah.
but if it's like it's reached Ohio, we're peak
I think
zombie.
they would. I just want you to know. I think they would announce something like that before it like got like a whole state overridden. So,
So-
I don't know.
you
the
were
government
dead
might
at the
be trying
first
to hide it.
announcement before.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've really gained some ground here.
So yes, we have
this is
gained some
nice.
ground because in my brain, if they're like there's the zombies, I
But the-
feel like they're
There's
everywhere.
The zombies. Oh
The
yeah.
zombies have
Yeah.
come,
Yeah.
and I am
We as the people of a nation would probably be alerted of this much before
Yeah.
they were everywhere.
but so
So you could maybe just go to Europe or something.
I just don't know, but I
Yeah.
do know that in
I don't think any of us know.
in any hypothetical situation, if there's zombies, I'm done.
Yeah,
Count
well,
me
I get
out.
it. I get it.
Okay.
You're not my
I-
first round. You're not my first round pick.
Thank you.
So you're just gonna be one of those people we just drag along. Don't worry.
And I will be on
You're
your
just
side
fine.
if you ever come to like all of us and you're like, hey, I'm done with this. I'm gonna take a bullet. I'll be like, I raised my hand for Kim eating her own bullet
Thank you.
because I understand. I understand what you're getting at.
Thank
I
you,
don't
I
want. I
appreciate
don't
that.
want someone's.
Yeah, because I feel
If
like
they
a
think
lot
that
of the
life
time.
is torture and they think this is the only way out, wow, that's not how I meant that. Don't commit suicide, people. Call
Yeah.
someone. Call me if you really need
But
to. I'm not gonna give you my
in a
phone
zombie
number, but
apocalypse
maybe an email
situation,
address. Yeah.
in,
Yes. That's
in
what
an
I'm saying.
apocalyptic situation,
Yes, that's what I'm saying. In an apocalyptic situation, in
some
this
people are
hypothetical
not cut
scenario,
out for the survival lifestyle,
and I can understand.
I am one
that.
of them.
Yes, I
And
can
I know
understand
that you two, who watch Survivor religiously,
Yeah, heck yeah.
are like, I will survive.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be easy. That's cake.
Yeah.
The main concern in that apocalyptic scenario is the other people who also survive. That's the
Yeah.
main
Yeah.
concern.
The other assholes.
How-
and it
How
kind of
cowboy
goes into,
are we going? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what we talked about earlier about humans like being serial killers and people who kill people not being serial killers. Like,
Yeah, if the world's over, it's like where are these where are these societal rules and
Yeah.
norms that
There
we made
aren't
up?
any.
There aren't any. They're all tossed
I
out the window.
think-
What's a serial killer? I'm just trying to get by, pilgrim.
I think
Yeah.
the depiction of apocalypse shows and movies has been incorrect a little bit on how many people are violent when the apocalypse happens. I think people will be a lot less violent than it's depicted on shows and movies.
Who wants to watch that though? You know,
What's that?
who wants to watch that?
Probably no one, but
Everyone wants to watch everyone
That's probably
be
why you're
violent.
not seeing it on
but
main.
still, I
mainstream
think it takes a
television.
lot to take a human life. Like Katie was telling me about how she thinks that most doctors or most surgeons are narcissists because you have to cut into a human body, and just that should be disgusting to you, or I think she used the word abhorrent
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to you when you're cutting into a body. Because like
Sure.
right, you can't do that. Like
I can
if you gave me a
understand.
scalpel, I couldn't just walk up to you and be like.
Yeah, it's you got to take that with a grain of salt though, right? Because it's like if they're doing, it's the intent, right? It's, all about the
and the
intent. If
training.
they think that doing
And they're
that is,
so confident in themselves.
if they think that doing that is
Well, that's
going
what I'm
to
saying.
save this person's life,
Yeah.
then it's not abhorrent to them. They're committing an act of good deed here. They're doing this to save your life.
But it should still be weird to them.
Why? I mean, yeah, I can understand if it's weird,
not
but
a
if it's like
normal
if you're
thing that
trying
humans
to
do.
save someone's life, medicine's pretty normal nowadays, right? Modern day stuff like that is pretty normal. So I can definitely understand what she's saying. I'm not gonna try to diminish that, but I think it's all about like intent, right? It's like that.
Yeah.
I'm also not gonna get in the head of a surgeon either. I'm not gonna claim to know how they are, but I would think it's about intent, right? Like if you're going into it saying I have to do this, this is all for the good of my patient to potentially save their life, which is why I would assume they need such a drastic surgery to be cut into.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, I think it's all about why you're doing it. But I'm sure there are some surgeons who probably do think it's a little weird. But then again, it's like humans get used to anything they do.
No, I don't think any surgeons think it's weird.
Oh yeah, I could also see that side of the spectrum too.
You know?
I could also see that some of them all have just, like took the Hippocratic Oath and they take that seriously, and saving lives isn't a joke to
Yeah.
them. This
Or
isn't
they
weird.
might honestly be like not in a like negative way. They might be like, this is fucking sick. The inside of a human is fucking crazy. Like that is crazy. And to be a surgeon who has the ability to cut into somebody and take out something that's like fucking up how your body functions, or they're taking it out to save you or doing something like that. That's just, that could just be, they could be like, this is really cool.
Yeah, I think that
This is
some of
really
that stuff
interesting.
is fascinating. Then again, I'm not cutting people open.
Yeah.
I hate all that stuff.
But I think it's fascinating. I mean, I enjoy the pursuit of
Yeah.
medicine.
I can't even watch like
Yeah,
the
you're
pregnancy
really bad at it.
shows.
Yeah, you're really bad at any of that
I
stuff.
told Katie, I was like, we can't have a kid. I won't be able to deal with the.
I won't be
the
able to look at
birth.
you.
Yeah.
Plenty of fathers
Can't look
don't-
at you the
aren't
whole
in
time
that.
you're pregnant. I'm too scared.
Plenty of fathers
they
aren't
think
in the
about the
operation
skin
room,
stretching. I'm just like, oh, there's an alien inside of you.
Yeah.
No.
When I poked Kristen's belly, I was just like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah. I feel that.
But now that baby's so cute.
He's cute.
Yeah. He is cute.
So wait,
Okay.
we
okay,
lost
so I thought
track
about
here.
it. So my big thing that
It's great for
me as a
audio.
person fighting against
Yeah.
I
She's gonna say men.
You can say the man, you know.
no. I'll say for how about I'm not can I fight like for something? Can I fight
Yeah.
more
Yes,
for
you most certainly can.
can it be for
It can be for anything
understanding?
you want. Anything you
Understanding.
want.
Explain.
So, for the understanding of more so of where people are coming from with something, the understanding of how and why people do the things that they do, understanding, and how about more for, can I fight for understanding and equality
Yeah.
of things? Of
It
understanding?
seems like you can summarize this maybe with empathy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Fighting, there we go. Fighting for empathy,
Yeah.
for,
For people to feel
For-
how others are coming from. You know,
Yeah.
maybe walk a little bit in their shoes.
yeah. So that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
then,
Okay, so I guess we could go back to your D&D skills. That would make sense, and say that you have high charisma.
You could be a telepath. You could cheat a little bit,
oh,
right?
dang.
Right.
Oh, dang.
Get
See,
in
this
the
is why I
hive.
can't play D&D because I would have never, I would have never been able to be like, I want to have that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay. That's a pretty softball
so,
answer.
yeah,
but
sure.
You'd have got there.
Loads of charisma.
Yeah, right?
Lots of wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely go wisdom over intelligence if you're trying to be empathetic, if you're trying to get people to understand people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the old thing they say. The difference between wisdom and intelligence.
Yeah,
Wisdom is
'cause-
experience.
because I feel
Intelligence is
like-
knowing.
Yeah. Wisdom, and I would say that maybe
Maybe.
one of
Oh, dexterity
my
was the
skill-
other one I was thinking of, by the way.
Oh.
If you want to be dexterous.
my skill thingy could be to fuck, I just thought of it. To be able to say the right thing or the thing that people need to hear in the moment.
Oh, okay.
Because-
it's like
Nice,
it's almost
dude.
like luck.
Yeah, because you know how sometimes like when you're talking to someone and they're saying something to you, and then later you're like,
You have what they
fucking got it.
You had it.
I
But in the
fucking
moment,
should
you're
have
just
said
like,
this.
Perfect
I do that all the time.
conversationalist.
Yeah, so that it's like,
Perfect opportunist.
yeah, because then afterwards, then I'm like, God damn it, I should have given this advice. I should have suggested, what about this?
Do you ever find yourself going back and saying what you thought of it?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
If I,
But it's never as good as if it's in the moment, you know?
yeah.
I understand. I've been there. I
Yeah,
would like
like-
that too. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I like this. I would also pick that if I had to build stats.
Yeah,
See,
because
I have the problem where everything that goes in my head usually comes out my mouth. So in those situations, it's actually pretty okay for me. I usually get everything out that I wanted to say.
yeah, I
When-
will say though, you say deep things when you're talking, but you don't talk a lot.
Mm.
So you say things. So I feel like it's like when you're talking, you are saying exactly what you're thinking and what you're feeling, but you're not a man of few words.
Nice.
We'll say that. Like you're always like speaking with intent, I guess. So it's like you're like, I'm gonna say my intent and that's it. And then
Kit Kat.
hell yeah, Kit Kat.
Sorry. So sorry.
I'm so sorry, I was eating under the table.
I
like a mouse.
just didn't want the mic to pick up me opening the wrapper. It probably did.
Tucker's over there eating candy on the
It's so
podcast.
good. Who
That's
doesn't
against
love a
the
Kit
rules.
Kat? No, what? Where are the rules? Print them out.
Print them on the wall. Put them on the wall.
So, okay, so that's what you're fighting for. That's your skills.
A girl
Who-
we're
let's-
fighting for.
What could be the big bad in that scenario? Where she's fighting for equality
I
and
Empathy.
empathy.
have no idea who is oppressing that in the real world today.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Trump?
Yeah. The man. I would probably say
I have no idea.
Some
I'm not informed
overlord in Africa?
I feel
What
like
is-
are we just making?
Anywhere in Russia?
I have like I said, I am not informed enough to know. I mean, that's really just that's like a big task there. I'm sure there's a lot of people doing it. Like,
yeah,
everywhere.
well, I feel like it's because there's like so many different things. You know what? The
Say it.
patriarchy.
Oh, the patriarchy, the
The
man.
fucking
You just said the
patriarchy.
man fancily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. So, yeah, like empathy for those things, fighting the big bad, the patriarchy, always.
Mm-hmm.
So
Patriarchy runs so deep, my dudes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like I am, a guy. So
Yeah, but also I feel like
not that I've
the
gotten any
patriarchy
benefits
it doesn't
from
have
the
to be
patriarchy,
that
but-
against just it's not for just fighting against patriarchy is not for just women.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on board. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're allies
Yeah, I'm
for
board.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm on board for sure.
So yeah. That's
Down
it.
with the king.
That's my character.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm on board.
Thanks,
Let's
guys.
go.
I like that.
You're
I worked
welcome.
really hard on it.
You did. You actually did. We could tell.
Thought a lot about it. Also for anybody who's listening in was wondering, yes, I am a Libra. Everything about me just was very Libra-esque. If you know anything about zodiac signs.
I don't. I actually don't. I know I'm a Cancer.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know
an
that.
Aries.
I know my sign makes 69, and that makes me laugh every time. So
Nice.
That's yeah, exactly right.
Every time you see it, you say nice.
You
Exactly.
want me to keep that in there or cut it?
Nah, man, leave that on. That's cool. That's truth.
Yeah, that's
That's true. And
yeah,
that's funny.
because
You can't tell me people don't. There's not a large portion of people who look at 69 and they'll go, nice.
yeah, I think
That's
everyone says
funny.
nice when
Yeah,
they see it.
Whether you're young or old, we get it. It's funny.
But mostly I'm saying that because like that the Libra sign is the scales.
Oh yeah.
So
So
Libras are all about balance
Oh, okay, I
and
was gonna say-
peacemaking.
I thought they were about weighing stuff, but balance. That makes more sense.
Yeah. It's
mean,
because
scales.
they're a balanced scale
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything when you
Yeah, I
see
got it. I got it.
Yeah. About peacemaking and all of the things.
Okay, I'm horrible at astronomy. Pardon me.
Astronomy.
Is that not what it is?
Astrology.
Astrology, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
you both do the same thing.
Yeah,
You both
but
look at the stars and you both go, ooh.
I will
cool.
say
So,
more a Cancer for you does make sense, and Aries for Matt, I guess, does sometimes make sense, but not all the time.
Okay, well, now I'm just curious.
Aries are very chaotic.
I mean, if you're going to say I'm like it, I've got to
Cancers are very, like, they're very, like, pretty level-headed in men unless they are, like, unless they are, like, emotional.
Okay, I understand.
So sometimes,
So
like,
they're not level-headed if they're emotional.
yeah, like when something
get
is hurting
emotional,
them,
yes.
it's you will know it's very
How do you remember all this stuff? Is this something you're very interested in, Kim?
kind of.
Should
I'm
this
pretty.
have been one of the topics?
I'm
I would
pretty.
have
I'm
indulged.
kind of interested in it, but this comes from a part of my brain that is like I remember a lot of things that have been said to me.
Okay.
So, like, if you say something to me, I could probably remember exactly what you said because I can remember how you said it.
Oh,
So,
interesting.
when I, like...
What tone makes you not remember?
No,
How can I speak to make you not remember?
probably, like, nothing. It's kind of... It's like one of
shit.
those things that's, like, a really... It's kind of a really creepy thing.
You have like an eidetic memory or something like that?
I don't know.
It's not like word for word, is it?
It's
But you
like
can-
it's just like really creepy to the point where like if you tell me something about yourself,
Yeah.
I'll probably remember it and
Okay.
you probably won't even remember telling me.
Okay.
So it takes a lot inside of me to not ask you about it
Oh.
because then it comes off as really weird if you don't remember telling me and then I ask you about something you don't remember telling me about.
Oh. But then you could just say you told me. Right? Doesn't
Yeah,
that
I
usually-
could, but then
Yeah.
you would be like, why the fuck don't I remember telling you that?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, that happens
I
to
feel-
me all the
Yeah,
time.
so like sometimes it's like it comes off
I always
as like
just
really
tell
weird.
Matt, yeah, you told me this.
Yeah, it like sometimes it just comes off as weird or
I
like
can
and
understand.
it doesn't even have to just be like people I'm close with. Sometimes
Sure.
it's like people I just see
Yeah,
and then they'll
in
tell me
passing.
something and I'll remember it and the next time I see them I'll be like, "Oh, how's this?" And they're like,
How did you?
"I
You
mentioned
fucking
that."
weirdo. How do you
And
I
know?
those
mentioned
people
that
are
in
really cool
passing.
though, right? I thought those people were cool who did stuff like that.
Yeah,
Who could show that they
or-
care. It's like you care about the person, you know?
Yeah, like
you wouldn't
you paid
remember it if
attention.
you didn't, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe you would.
So
Is
then
that what
like
you're saying?
sometimes when I like read things about like zodiac things, I'll be like, "Oh, yeah." And then when I find out like, "Oh, that you're a Cancer," I'm like, "That makes sense for this part of your personality."
It's like a little puzzle for you. You know,
Sometimes.
you just get to like piece it together.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Just a little Sherlock Holmes over
Yeah.
here.
There you
Huh,
go.
well-
The Sherlock House.
Yeah, Sherlock House. It's me. It's me, Sherlock House. Yeah, it
Astrology
like
master.
it's so. Yeah,
That's cool. So now we have a topic for you to come on again.
and yeah,
So-
and so then I'll remember.
I probably won't brush up on it, to be honest. I think it's silly, but I like to hear about it.
No, there are sometimes that like a lot of the time it's one of those things that I'm not like so passionate about, and
Yeah.
I know all of the things. Like I just like to know bits and pieces.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's like pretty interesting. Like, it's like that and like the Enneagram numbers and stuff.
I don't know what those are.
Oh, it's like a
Are those like your lucky numbers on the back of your Chinese fortune cookie?
no,
Oh.
but good guess.
Okay.
It's like there's like it's basically a thing like a social science saying that there's 9 different personality types.
Oh.
So you like
I
take
think
this
I've been there.
personality test, you like answer all these questions, and it's like you're either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, blah blah blah.
I see.
And they all have like different like identifiers.
9's the best, right? Because it's the biggest number.
No, they're not better
Oh.
than any other ones. It's just like you just like get
You're
put in a
probably
category.
like a 2 then, aren't you?
No, I'm a 9.
Oh, okay. Well then, see,
But
feels good to be on top, doesn't it?
Nines are peacemakers. So literally it's like I have this
Sounds
and then I
like
took
the
the
best
test
to
and it was
me.
like you're a 9 and a peacemaker, and I was like, oh, so I'm this
I bet
Libra
that
who's a
feels
peacemaker.
good when
I'm
you're
this
on-
who's a peacemaker. Basically, don't come with me with any confrontation. I will die.
Oh, wait! I thought you were supposed to make peace
I'll just
with
explode.
it. Though. Oh,
No.
that doesn't sound like a peacemaker.
No, I know.
Also, a peacemaker's a gun. You're not. This sounds explosive.
Don't
That's
involve
also
me.
not you.
Don't involve me with your
That is not what I thought
with your
a peacemaker would
confrontation.
do.
I will. No, I'm joking.
oh,
it probably is what
Oh.
it means, but it's just
Now I'm confused. But
Okay.
I still think 9 sounds the coolest. Good for you, Kim. I'm glad you're a
Thanks.
9.
Kim,
Mhm.
do you have any last regards for
Do you have any
people? Any
last
advice?
words?
before you shoot,
What?
before we execute you. Do you have any
Yeah.
last words?
You thought it was hard being a woman
I
before you got here.
I got tricked into this podcast talking about serial killers because it's you guys.
Yeah.
Do you have any last words and then you serial kill me afterwards?
We're serious about our podcast, Kim.
Yeah.
Do I have any last words?
You know,
These aren't,
any
these aren't
advice
her
for the
literal
youngins?
last
Any
words, especially if like
advice?
Kim's mom's listening. These aren't her literal last words. I feel
Yeah,
like that's
I think
something-
that's our only listeners, are both of our moms, actually.
No, you said something about we get more downloads.
Actually,
than
no,
that.
we do have like 30
Yeah,
listeners.
there's gotta be like
That's
more
cute.
moms.
So it's not just it's everybody's moms.
Yeah.
It's everybody that
Whoa.
we know, it's their moms.
That's
My
crazy.
mom was like, I don't like Star Trek, though. And I was like, it's not just about Star Trek.
Shout out to all the
And you
moms.
were
Just-
like, "Mom, listen to my voice," and she
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, okay." Just put it that way.
Yeah, probably.
For the listeners,
You know, it could just be whatever you want. You also don't have to have any last words. You could be like, "This has
I
been
would
Kim
say-
signing off."
that maybe try. My advice is to be empathetic to more people, and that you can be friends with people who have different views than you. You don't have to connect on everything, because sometimes it is okay to have opposing views on things. Obviously not on like,
Murder.
yeah, but to still care about somebody with different political views than you, or different random views than you. Sometimes that's okay, because you can care about a person and not about specific parts of their personality.
Well, damn, that was pretty good.
And my advice is to remind you not to forget to stand up every now and then and do a couple stretches and, you know, keep that blood flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep your body moving.
yeah, do that.
I guess if Tucker's giving advice, I guess I got to give a piece of advice too. And
Everyone that's listening thinks Tucker's fucking ripped. Everyone was
Oh.
like, he's talking about getting up and moving his body. Tucker's ripped.
Yeah,
And
Tucker is
to
jacked.
everybody who's listening. They all know that's pretty true. I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah.
yeah.
My advice: listen to this podcast.
Oh,
Boom.
I like how they had to get
Boom,
to the end of
roasted.
the podcast too.
Kim, thank you very much for coming
Yeah,
on.
thanks, Kim. You're
You've
a real
been a
pal.
great guest,
Real
and I
pal,
want to
real
have you on
peach.
again.
Thanks.
Would you come on again?
Yeah. I'll still be
Awesome.
just as nervous next time.
That's
Good.
fine.
You did great.
Stay nervous, everyone.
Stay nervous, everyone.